Let's take a trip to the DIA. Check out the guillotine, ain't it gay? The next thing you know, they're gonna chop your head, 'cause the New World Order wants to see you dead. The New World Order has an evil plan. They say we're overpopulated in our land. Abortion, euthanasia, whatever leaves you dead, are what these evil people call holy sacraments. Let's take a trip to the DIA. Check out the devil horse, ain't it gay? The sculptor showed Lucifer was rearing up, but the horse fell apart, knocked him on his butt.
Let me do shit.
How long is this? Jesus. Oh my god, we're only halfway through. Yeah, sure, chemtrails on the bingo card. It's a satire, but I'll allow it. I wonder if that guy's an actual pilot and he made this because he's, like, fed up with these kind of people. Being like, do you do chemtrails? Just curious. Oh, looks like it. Yeah, I think he is actually a pilot. That's funny. Alright, hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday. I hope you're all doing well. Let me see what stuff we have that I need to read. The amazing physicist says, I'm trying to make up 9 hours of charisma saves so I can watch the big event tomorrow. Maybe be in and out, but have some bits. Thank you. Yeah, for those who follow our D&D stream charisma saves, the finale of Campaign 1 that we've been doing for like 3 or 4 years is tomorrow. So come check it out if you'd like. It's going to be a big fight. And then emotion. So come check it out. We do that over on actual Jake's channel. I'm just a player on that one. 0M80, thanks for subscribing for 6 months. Says happy halfway anniversary. Thank you. And is there anything else? Blackwing Hecty says that top is really cute. Thank you. Logard says it's nice to see Glenn Beck's music career is going well. Yeah, you can mark off chemtrails on the bingo card. Pyromancer says, I believe he is a pilot. Mike Mack says, no Pokemon news, no Dante and Smash, but new Metroid and Zelda is going to be good. Yeah, the new Zelda looks okay. I was underwhelmed. Hold on, what happened in the Nintendo stock after that? I think NTD is Nintendo stock. No, maybe it's not. Nintendo stock. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it went down. Yeah, I was a little underwhelmed, but I am excited for Zelda 2. Mike Mac, nope, read that one. Bumble Homestead with 100 bits says, hype? Yes, we did actually just start a hype train. Remember, each level of the hype train, we get more tinfoil armor for me to don. Princess Amelia says, do you do chemtrails? No, and if the answer was yes, I'd still say no, because that's how conspiracies work. Profane Priestess says, hey Hannah, how are you? I'm having an interesting day. Spent most of the day daydreaming, fantasizing about estrogen. Got me both sad and excited. I'm sorry. I know how that can be. Now I don't have to fantasize, I just have it. It's beautiful. Nearest Crowhill, thanks for 4 months, says, aloha Hannah, I was just starting to watch your recording from yesterday and now you are live. Glad I could catch you as I currently am vacationing in St. Louis, Missouri. I'll see how much I can catch before my phone dies. Well, I'm glad you could make it. Kirthan with 100 bits says, I'm appalled at the lack of hype. Pointless with 100 bits. And Sweet Bunny Mommy 333 gifts 10 subs to the community. Thank you very much. And then Kingdom Reborn 47 gifts 5 subs to the community. Lots of subs, thank you. Andrew Batella subscribes for 7 months, says, I don't do chemtrails, I just sniff the regular contrails. That's even weirder, because contrails are just water vapor. Why are you sniffing water vapor? Yeah, this year's E3 was, underwhelming, which is sad. I've been watching E3 for years and years and years. I remember when the first Portal was announced at E3 and I was just fascinated with the concept, and I did end up liking the Portal games. Portal 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I don't know. Just nothing stuck out to me this year. It's boring. Even Starfield, they didn't show anything. They showed like it's an in-engine cinematic trailer, but I just didn't care. I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded and don't give a shit anymore. Certainly doesn't help that I'm not 12 anymore, I guess. But still, whatevs. Xenon Exemer, thanks for subscribing for 9 months. That's a sub baby. This sub baby's name is going to be Zordon. This sub baby's name is Zordon. Thrash Mio with 100 bits says, anti-cleanse, you'll be left with the desire to hug... What? This is the opposite of a cleanse? Okay. Bitter Grin with 50 bits says, bits for tinfoil. We reached level 5 of the hype train. Thank you. Mike Mac says, a good counter for go woke, go broke is keep being asleep, and you're the real sheep. Hydrate. Okay. Princess Amelia says, gifts a sub. Pyromancer with 100 bits says, hype bits and cute cats. Thank you. Oh, we watched this the other day. We actually already watched this. Yeah. We watched this exact one. Thank you, though. Querulous Artisan with 100 bits says, here, have some bits while I fight with the cat jungle gym I'm building while the cats try to help. I hope that goes together well. Princess Amelia, thanks for gifting a tier 1 sub. Yeah, Psychonauts 2 does look good too. I missed a bits message. I'm sorry, H. Baird. Let me see if I can go find it. Today is my 3-year anniversary going full time. Have the rest of my bits in celebration. Awesome. Congratulations. Overthought with 50 bits says, I'm ready for some more Peter crazy. Oh, you picked a good episode to come watch then. Profane Priestess says, I'm excited for the Outer Worlds 2, Breath of the Wild, and Metroid sequel soft reboot, but that's about it. And then M. Baghead with 250 bits says, I have been disappointed with E3 this year. The only thing I cared about is DLC for games already released. I agree. I missed yours too. I'm sorry. Why did I miss all these? Well, I'm excited about Breath of the Wild too. I needed something to live for the next year, and I'm clinging hard. Oh, I'm sorry. Blackwing Hecty, so did anything big happen yesterday? I spent most of the day asleep after having my precious bodily fluids taken. No. Nope, nothing happened. Disappointed Q people, surprise. Pyromancer says, how about these guinea pigs instead? How's Xbox's stock? Let's see. Down. Down a little bit. At least just for the day, but not by a ton. Sweet Bunny Mommy 333 says, I've been so blessed lately, I wanted to spread it around, and our family loves you, Hannah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, 30 seconds left on the hype train, and then we'll get things rolling. We're going to be watching Peter's newest video, which is Trump made a deal with aliens. If you saw our video yesterday on Chudwatch, this is a continuation of that video, though you don't necessarily have to have seen yesterday's video to see the new video today from Peter. But it's part of his series that he's doing where he's trying to outline what's going on, in his opinion, in terms of all the Q stuff. This is just someone trying to point out where they think the ISS is fake. This is Globebusters trying to talk about common flat earth questions. We might take a look at that. I'm not sure. Call for an Uprising is talking about the bullshit vaccines make you magnetic thing. We'll debunk that. Nathan Thompson and friends are back trying to teach people about flat earth. Elizabeth April has a message from the Galactic Federation. We might get that second part of the Fall of the Cabal part 2 because I don't like that I don't like the spider emote. I don't like that on screen. Did Hannah and Jake filming not happen today? No, it didn't. Jake's working on D&D stuff and Randy's in town and staying with Jake, so I guess he wanted to he was busy. So sorry about that. We have Sid Roth's It's Supernatural. This was, I think, right after the election. Wait, no. This was right before the election, rather. I apologize. And this is Sid Roth trying to prophesize about Trump winning the election. Surprise. He was wrong. I thought it'd be funny to take a look at that. Randy is in town because we're doing D&D tomorrow, the finale, so he came to town for that. Let's check out the bingo card. We had chemtrails mentioned in that song. Even though it was satire, I'll count it. Why not? And then I already have aliens marked because we're going to start with Peter, and it's all about aliens. So if you have aliens on the bingo card, go ahead, mark it off. He has too many teeth. I imagine they're not his real teeth. Hello, Puka. How are you? And hello, Nick. Ooh, I got like something up in there. I feel like I have like a congestion, but like up in my head.
And maybe not on screen.
Why?
Yeah.
Muddy says, hello Hannah, I've been watching your channel for a while and finally decided to catch a stream live. I wanted to thank you for teaching me that there's literally nothing wrong with trans people. My parents have some shitty worldviews, so of course some of them got passed down to me. I hope you and everyone in chat has a wonderful day, and P.S. you're looking great today. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you've been able to evolve on some of your views. I really appreciate that. Like, no one's perfect and we all pick up some bad stuff from our parents, and I appreciate that you're willing to learn new things and change your views. That's great. Kirthan with 100 bits says, OMG, I love Baja's skirt. It is very
dress.
cute. Yeah. Was this a Goodwill thing? Or was this... No.
I already had this.
Okay, I knew it looked familiar. I
don't
know when
think
it
you've
was.
ever seen it.
It looks so familiar. I think I've seen it. I don't know where.
I've never worn it in front of you, and it's been in my closet.
Do you have something else very similar?
Probably.
Okay. It looks very familiar to me. I don't know.
You might have seen it advertised around.
Maybe.
Ah!
So yeah, you wanna do Peter with me?
I want you to rephrase that.
Would you like to sit down and watch Peter's video with me and comment on it?
Sure.
Okay.
Let me go grab my water.
Okay. Bumble Homestead says, we got a cat. Oh, I gotta do the tinfoil too. I'm sorry, I almost forgot. Bumble Homestead says, we got the cat a kibble dispenser that puts a bit of food out hourly. She doesn't always eat the kibble immediately when it dispenses, but she always runs over and stares at it lovingly. Baja, did you get your hair cut? She's actually growing her hair out right now. I think for the wedding, she wants to have her hair back out and long again, so she's doing it for that. Although I don't know if she cleaned it up or anything recently, her hair. Citisaur says, hi there, on my lunch break, and had to stop by after I saw your tweet. Just stopping by to say hello, we'll watch the VOD later. Wish me luck on not falling asleep at my desk. No, MH Dark Beast, no. Jezebel N says, the wedding. Oh, we talked about it briefly the other day on the stream. We're not engaged yet, but we're basically pre-engaged. We picked out rings, and we're just waiting to move in at this point, basically. Live stream wedding. No, sorry guys. I'm sure we'll take some videos and stuff, and I'll share those with you guys, and I'll share pictures, but, you know. I'm not that big of a stream whore. Like, I don't feel the need to live stream every moment of my life. I'm sure it'll be a good time, though. Will there be Pitts messages at the wedding?
I think those are called gifts. Also, yeah, chat doesn't know this. Hannah's never seen me with long hair, but previous to June 2019, I had hair that was like always super, super long.
I've seen pictures.
Cut it. I love my hair long, and then I cut it in June 2019 because I was just tired of it. It was making my neck hurt.
Before you sit down, I gotta get my tinfoil stuff.
Well, then, okay.
Sorry.
You're good. But, yeah, so I never cut it. And then June 2019, I decided that I wanted to cut it. And I love it being short, but if I don't at least grow it out and have the possibility of when Hannah and I get married having long hair, I'll regret it. So I'm growing it out, and if I don't decide that I want it, I'm just gonna cut it off again.
P.O. box for wedding gifts?
Oh God, no.
I feel like that's
No.
that makes me feel icky. I'm not gonna ask for wedding gifts from you guys.
Also, we're not engaged yet, chat.
I know.
Like, calm down.
Wait till the actual engagement. It's basically foregone at this point, but you know. I don't want to be weird about it.
Be cute.
chat is wedding thirsty. Sweet Bunny Mommy says, short hair is great for summer. Yeah, my hair's up like all the time now. Yay!
I'm never here for Tinfoil Tuesday.
I love you.
No, I'm not proposing to Hannah on the live stream. Absolutely not.
Zero Matey says, what a coincidence, I haven't cut my hair since 2019. Firemancer says, Hannah, who regularly does weird things, doesn't want to be weird about it. Okay, that's different. This is performative. I know when I'm being weird. Most of the time.
I always donate my hair when I cut it to, kids with hair loss. Don't donate to,
Locks of Love.
Locks of Love. I'm just gonna let it grow until the wedding, basically. Like, yeah, like, I'm just gonna grow it as long as I can. My hair grows really, really fast, so, to donate your hair, I think it needs to be 6 inches. It's different for every place. But, like, the last time I cut my hair, it was like, basically we did it all in one shot. I had, like, the longest hair I'd ever had. It went down to my waist, and I went into the salon, and I was like, okay, I want this all gone. And she was like, what do you mean all gone? And I was like, oh, I want it all gone, and I want to donate it. And so she, like, put, you know, ponytails in all around my head, because I do have a ton of hair when I have it all, like, grown out. And so she just cut it off, and she was so excited. She's like, I don't normally get to do, like, big transformations on people. She's like, I'm so excited.
I had a friend in high school who, is still the person with the longest hair I ever knew. It was down, oh my gosh, it had to be down to her legs somewhere. It was, like, down here, and she donated that all in school. It was pretty cool. She actually did it, and they had, like, a thing at the school that was, like, it was, like, an awareness week or something for something. I don't even remember. I guess the awareness week didn't work. I don't remember what we were supposed to be aware of. But, like, she, in front of during the assembly, like, they had her do that, and they're like, if you want to do this, here's the stuff, and they cut her hair.
Yeah, I could never get my hair to grow past my waist. It would, like, get there, which is already really long at your waist, but it would get there, and then it would pretty much taper off.
Ashy Boo says, I highly recommend watching Blair's video on Locks of Love. It was very eye-opening. I assume that's the Illuminati?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, she does good work. Blair's great. Alright,
I do need to be able to hear.
that would probably help.
Luckily, I cleaned your ear out earlier.
True.
Oh, also, I'm here just randomly because I was doing things last weekend and I couldn't come up, so I decided to surprise Hannah because, you know, my experiments fell in such a way that I could come up for tonight.
Pyromancer says, if my hair grew at the same rate as my facial hair, then maybe I'd be able to donate. You did miss the hype train, sorry. Alright, again, during this video, I'm probably gonna wait a bit to get into the bits messages and stuff, just so we don't interrupt the video, because there's a lot to go through, but we'll pause about halfway through and go through the bits messages. So yeah, let's take a look. You got your tinfoil ready?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, it's once again time to look into the wild world of Peter Hannah. Yesterday on Chud Watch, we watched part 1 of this series, in which he talked about, what did he call it? The 10,000 foot level, or maybe the 20,000 foot level. Basically, he put out this list of, like, this is high concept stuff, so I gotta start at the ground level, and it was like the 10,000 foot, and he explained, like, Trump defeating the deep state behind the scenes, basically bullshit Q stuff. Today, he's going up another 10,000 feet, and he's going to explain to us how Trump is an alien puppet. So let's check it out.
Someone said, "Oh, you guys don't live together." I just assumed. I wish we lived together. We're applying to get approved for a mortgage, and we're gonna look for a house. I live like an hour and a half away from Hannah, because I obviously am a grad student, so I have to be close to my university, and so Hannah's gonna move down there very kindly and be with me once we find a house.
Has Peter still not gotten back to you, Hannah? I'm worried he's really lost at this point. He hasn't. I think I'm going to Twitter DM him later to make sure he's doing okay. Relatively speaking.
Dimensional rituals that require certain
Warning, the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
In order to open a portal where Moloch can holographically manifest in flesh and perform technology exchanges, clone replacements, human sacrifice is required for each trade. Donald Trump was a puppet president who was narcissistic enough to take the heat given to him if we followed on our promise to rid Earth from Moloch. Welcome back, Patriots.
That's like a thing from later in the video that you put at the beginning. So I'm going to wait to comment on that. But bear in mind, this shit does get crazy.
On this show, I'm going to talk about the deal that Trump made with aliens. He struck a deal with a group of aliens known as Majestic 12 to help him save Earth. And the deal is that he takes the heat and they deliver on their promise to destroy Moloch. Together, they save the world. We're going down the world.
Moloch is an ancient god. Moloch. Was he the one that they did the baby sacrifices to? Moloch. I believe Moloch is mentioned in the Bible. Yep. Moloch, ancient Greek because I can't speak Greek, is a name or term that appears several times in the Hebrew Bible, primarily in the book of Leviticus. The Bible strongly condemns practices associated with Moloch, which appear to have included child sacrifice. Presumably, this is the god of a neighboring tribe to Israel that probably really existed, and this was the god they worshipped. Modern-day Christians have associated Moloch as well as Baal and some of the other gods that were not the Hebrew god with Satan, even though they aren't Satan. They were real, I mean, not real, but they were gods that were the gods of other cultures, basically.
Wormhole, and it's going to get so crazy, you're going to think this is a novel, you're going to think it's science fiction, but this is our reality. And so viewer discretion is advised. Psychologically fragile people, I don't recommend you watch this video. It's very startling.
Yeah, Peter.
My name is Peter Hanna. This is Peter.
I think it's just the lighting. I think maybe he has like a, I don't know,
ring light,
a ring light, but he didn't color balance it once he turned the ring light on. Because it does change things a bit. But his is pretty extreme, so I don't know.
Hi, Cass. Yeah, are you not used to seeing Mama? She looked stunned. Hi.
Here's Sky High Politics. Click on the description button in the bottom right corner of the screen so you guys can finally see what's going on politically from a high perspective. On this episode,
it's certainly, I've made this joke a million times. It's too easy. It is from a very high perspective, Peter.
we're gonna go up to the 30,000 foot view.
So this is Peter's chart of the different views. 0 is the fake Matrix, as opposed to the real Matrix, probably the one with Keanu Reeves. 10,000 is real U.S. politics. We gotta hydrate, thank you. 20K is real world politics. 30K, which is what we're dealing with today, is real exopolitics, meaning aliens. 40K is Q operations strategy. So Q is above the aliens, apparently. Then we have the Great Awakening, the Grand Experiment, the Ascension event, their alien agendas, time travel exists, and reincarnation is real. I'm very excited for the rest of this series, because I think it's only going to get more bonkers from here.
Which means we're going to talk about exopolitics. The relationship between aliens and how they've been interacting with politics. First, I'm going to start off with reading a post where Majestic 12 releases a bombshell truth, which is they are telling us what was the deal that Trump made with Majestic 12. And this is extremely exciting, extremely alarming, extremely scary, and it stirs up a lot of emotion. So just prepare yourself mentally as I read this post, and I'll explain it. I'll go through it. It's a little difficult to understand. Put on your seatbelt. The following information is, this is the, I put in the beginning of my show, the truth will put 99% of the people in the hospital. These are the type of truths that can put someone in a hospital, make them mentally unstable.
He's not wrong.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's the opposite causality.
There's a correlation. That's what matters, okay?
So be very careful when watching this video. If you can't handle the truth of aliens, you can't watch this video. I'm sorry.
Can we handle it?
No.
I think we can. I believe in us. Plus, we got the tinfoil, so.
Okay.
All right, guys.
You keep talking so cute and sweet.
Here's the
though.
post.
I guess I have to go along with it.
So let me read it out to you. The typist who operated the Majestic 12 Twitter account kept an archive of private direct messages from the inception of the Majestic 12 World War III information war that Majestic 12 launched. Let me explain real quickly what they're talking about. Majestic 12 are a group of aliens that are operating on a base on the moon.
As long as you have water. I got that reference.
Did you hear that there's a base on the moon staffed by aliens?
Where? Where, Peter? Where is it?
The dark side of the moon.
Did he
And
say
they-
that?
No, but I would guess that's what he would say if I asked him. Or maybe inside the moon. He could always do the...
Well, then it wouldn't be on the moon, would it?
That's still... Colloquially, I would say that's on the moon. Even if it's in the moon. That's on the moon. It's more on the moon than I'm on the moon.
Speak to humans, which they are the typists.
Do you think Peter ever gets sad that his wife isn't into this stuff? Meanwhile, you
Do we
are...
know that she's not in
Yeah,
this
he
stuff?
said it in the last video. She doesn't approve of the alien stuff. So, do you think Peter, if he ever watches this video, will feel bad that you and I have a relationship where you will sit here with me and enjoy the same things I do?
I mean, I don't enjoy everything that you enjoy. Like the Tim and Eric or whatever.
Tim and Eric, awesome show.
Yeah,
Great job.
I absolutely hate that. It's the most disturbing. Like, it's not even disturbing. It's just stupid. Like, it's beyond mind numbing. It's like
Yeah.
unbearable. It's unbearable. I also don't.
I love Tim and Eric.
I also don't like Dancy. If you watch Dancy, I literally turn the stream off. So
What would I have to give up to play Dancy at our wedding? Like what horrible
Me.
price would I? Hold on, I'm thinking about it.
I'm glad I haven't given you a ring yet.
I love you.
Pathically, and the typist will log into this Telegram account and type for Majestic 12. So this is what they're talking about. That's why they're saying the typist who operated the Majestic 12 Twitter account, because the same with Twitter they did with Telegram, which is they had humans write it out and all their...
So the aliens can build a base on the moon and get here from somewhere else in the galaxy and have time travel technology, but they can't dictate their own messages. They need to bring a human on to be like, hey, take a note for me. Makes sense.
Their thoughts and feelings. So it says entities within the U.S. government are using the identity of Majestic 12 or Magic Eyes Only or MJ12 in a con. The Majestic 12 entity in the U.S. government is the entity responsible for protecting Moloch. So he's talking about some type of fake Majestic 12 or evil version of Majestic 12 that's doing bad stuff that are protecting this evil being.
So there's a... like it's a Saturday morning cartoon show or a badly written comic book. There's good Majestic 12 and there's evil Majestic 12.
I'm just poking you.
Okay.
And it's saying it was infiltrated in the 60s after Kennedy was assassinated. The Majestic 12 that you are communicating with here is the immortal soul of James Forrestal. In other words, these are the good Majestic 12 group. Majestic 12 specifically chose all three typists for very specific reasons, where each had to go through great tribulation and survive a test of integrity of will to represent the true founder of the Majestic 12 at the brink of disclosure. Message over messenger is an important concept. It means you require to not only parse but comprehend enough to argue both sides, the duality, in order for truth to resonate within. Now, this is something Majestic 12 often says. Instead of saying, believe me, I'm telling the truth, Majestic 12 says, meditate on what I'm saying. You know, think of it from, it could be wrong perspective to it could be accurate perspective, and analyze it logically. And only then will you realize that truth resonates from within. So if you guys...
So to me, it sounds like Peter's reason for believing that Majestic 12 is real and that this account is in fact Majestic 12 is that they say things that make him feel good. I think that's about it. I think he just basically admitted, I read their posts and I think about them and I think they fit into my worldview. This must be real.
If you guys don't want to believe this, meditate on it, and if you meditate on it enough, you'll realize that this is actually legit.
I think Peter has meditated on it too much.
I don't think getting baked out of your mind is meditating, Peter.
So the typists were all being communicated with telepathically while meditation and astral realm. Our organization was originally founded to help bring to light the truth about what we found at Roswell. However, aside from pure military aspirations, the religious secret societies and business leaders who follow in their lead were directly threatened by this brand new technology and laws of physics. As we learn what space is and what time is and how consciousness is written in 3, 6, and 9. Majestic 12 talks about 3, 6, 9 a lot and how it's basically
I love when he says majestic, it thinks that it's Francesca.
everything is made up of 3, 6, 9 and consciousness or something like that. It's kind of hard to understand, but long story...
Peter, it's not hard to understand. It's incomprehensible because it's gibberish. By the way, word salad on the bingo card.
So what is he reading?
He is reading Telegram posts from an account claiming to be Majestic 12.
Okay. I don't understand what Telegram is. I thought that it was just like a messaging thing.
It is that, but you can also, people can like follow people and they can sort of post messages to all their followers. So apparently Telegram has a big furry community and it has a big QAnon community. So the largest QAnon person on there has over 300,000 followers. And he was outright posting anti-Semitic propaganda a couple weeks ago. I don't know if he still is.
Who?
The guy who has like 300-something plus thousand followers.
But who is that?
Was it Ghost Ezra? I don't remember.
Okay.
Very short, if you do things in 3, 6, and 9s, you know, multiples of 3, then you'll contact consciousness and our matrix.
Is 3 the magic number for the... Or is that 4? Schoolhouse Rock?
I don't know.
3, because it's a magic number.
Fixed round at a quantum level, and you'll start seeing 3, 6, and 9s everywhere, which I've been doing it. I'll make a
numerology on the bingo card. Let's go for it.
6 and
Wrong button.
Nice.
Oh gosh, what was I gonna...
Numerology.
Where did it go? I never know.
11.
Thank you.
A video about it later. But the
Hydrate.
point is that they talk about it a lot. This majestic technology in the early MJ-12 pre-JFK seeded into the public from reverse engineered alien technology traded and stolen from off-world recon missions, very similar to Stargate 1. Military first version of the internet came from this project.
You know, off-world reconnaissance missions in which the United States military, using their Stargate, which is a real thing that isn't just, you know, in a movie, and they went to another planet and they stole alien technology. That's a real thing that Peter thinks happened.
In other words, we have internet today by reverse engineering technology from aliens. Many more. He's talking about many others, like transistors, including major medical advancements. So a lot of our technology, like night vision, touch screens, internet, microprocessors, a lot of that is, all those specific technologies are reverse engineered alien technology.
No, they're not. People have spent their entire lives working towards the development of different technologies. It wasn't handed to us by aliens, Peter. Sorry.
The enemy is deeply tuned in with 369, which means the enemy uses the power of 369 to manifest their evil reality. This enabled a mass awakening. How? Why? Very key point to understand. They, as in the Cabal, use 369 to control and enslave you, because the power of 369 is very
I gotta
real.
ask chat something.
Mm-hmm.
Is literally anyone understanding what he's saying? Because I'm not, and I can't tell if it's my ADHD or if it's Peter.
Let me see. Let me try and go over this myself, because I have better reading comprehension than Peter, and see if I can understand it.
That was some shade.
I'm just telling the truth, okay? However, aside from pure military aspirations, the religious secret societies who dominate the upper leadership of military and the politicians and business leaders who follow in their lead were directly threatened by this brand new technology and laws of physics as we learn what space is and what time is and how consciousness is written in 36 and 9. This majestic technology that the early MJ-12 pre-JFK seeded into the public from reverse engineering alien technology traded and stolen from off-world recon missions similar to Stargate 1, military first version of the internet came from this project, transistors and many more, including major medical advancements. The enemy is deeply
Slow down, please.
The enemy is deeply tuned in with 369. This enabled a mass awakening. How? Why? Very key point to understand. They uses 369 to control and enslave you. The power of 369 is very real. No, this is nonsense. I think the idea is supposed to be that 369 is some sort of like physics technology thing that we're too low vibration to understand.
I just want to cry.
This is because 369 governed the true laws of the universe at the quantum level. 369 represent the possibilities of geometric shapes capable of being constructed in a torsion fractal 12 physical dimension where you simply are an immortal spiritual entity. So, like I said, I tried to explain 369, but as you can understand from reading this, it's not that easy to understand. You must...
This low vibration just means sober? Yes.
Place your torsion fractal into an avatar solar plex in order to seize control of the avatar. Alright, very soon I'm going to get into where Majestic 12 talks about the deal he made with Trump. And the way he words it is incredible. What happens when the brain is programmed so deeply that it forgets how to interact with the solar plex consciousness? Have the Kundalini masters of the world taught humanity how to raise the power of the serpent? Deeply written into human DNA through food manipulation over hundreds of thousands of years. When this operation began, Majestic 12 said that the point of this operation is required for
I'm going to skip the part where he just starts talking and opining on his own. Because we don't need to hear this gibberish. We get it.
Cool.
CERN to
Yeah.
science
Are you
fact.
so happy?
Like, they were spending billions of dollars in reality that so point of this operation can holographically manifest in flesh thousands of years. When this operation began, Majestic 12 said that the point of this operation was to educate and guide humanity through disclosure, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help guide my followers and humanity as we
Her farts are gnarly. Cassie has got the worst farts.
are opening up Earth to alien disclosure. What is now mainstream? Child sex trafficking. Human
What?
trafficking. Weinstein, Epstein, China,
Oh, God.
New World Order, global pedophile ring, interdimensional rituals that require CERN in order to open a portal where Moloch can holographically manifest in flesh and perform technology exchanges, clone replacements. Human sacrifice is required for each trade. So let's back up for a second. I know this sounds like science fiction. We're going down the wormhole into reality that's
The Baja chat being supportive is a free space.
so crazy. If you guys knew how crazy reality is in many ways crazier than science fiction stories or movies you've been watching. So this is part of it. I'm going to read this again slowly. This is a fact being delivered by a group of aliens.
Why do you think it's a fact, and why do you think they're a group of aliens, Peter? Why do you trust this account? In a screenshot you show, this account has fewer than 10,000 subscribers on Telegram. I have more YouTube subscribers, and you used to too, than this account has on Telegram. Why do you believe them? It's a troll.
It's not debatable. There's no way.
I swear, I need to just make a Telegram account and name it some, nonsense thing and pretend to be one of these people and see if I can get Peter to believe in the stuff I'm saying, and then at some point reveal myself to Peter and be like, Peter, see how easy it is to trick you? Stop believing everything you read on the internet that you like.
You can. Anyway, this all come out to be true. Interdimensional rituals that require CERN in order to open a portal. So CERN is about not like finding some particle, whatever. Like they were spending billions of dollars on the CERN to just find a particle and answer a question. Yeah, right.
That was a large part of it. CERN does other stuff too, but the Higgs boson particle is the particle that, to my understanding, and my understanding is that of a rando on the street, so, don't ask me about this, but it's basically the particle that gives matter mass. It's kind of a big deal. It's colloquially called the God particle for a reason. It's basically a big piece of the puzzle as to why this is a thing and not just energy. Why am I a thing? Why are things matter and not just energy? Why are things not just all energy?
The purpose of CERN is it opens a portal where Moloch can holographically manifest.
How does something... what do you mean Moloch is going to holographically manifest?
In flesh. That's what CERN...
Wait, is he holographic or is he in flesh? Because those two things are the opposite of each other. If you're in flesh, you're not a hologram. If you're a hologram, you're not in flesh.
It's really about.
It's a meat hologram.
And the reason they open this portal is so that they can perform technology exchanges and clone replacements, and human sacrifices required for each trade. In other words, these evil Satanists use CERN, open a portal, let extremely evil alien manifest holographically in
CERN is a portal to hell. Good to know.
flesh, and then they trade technology and interact with this evil being. But with every trade, they have to sacrifice humans. So,
Honestly, how is that fair? Back in the day, you used to draw a pentagram on the ground and light some candles, and the demons will show up and grant you favors, but all of a sudden it's the 21st century and we have to build the Large Hadron Collider for the same thing? That's lame.
oh, this is very dark stuff.
Seize the means of demon summoning. I don't want these elitists being the only people who can summon demons for favors.
Right out of a science fiction novel, but as Majestic 12 says, this sounds like science fiction. This is science fact. All lies shall be revealed. Your own government helped China release COVID-19 onto you and made you stay locked up away in your homes while your
Okay, let's get to the part where he just talks.
CC puppets. Donald Trump was a puppet president who was narcissistic enough to take the heat given to him.
See, this doesn't even make sense in the logic of reality, right? The idea that they picked Donald Trump to be the puppet president because he's narcissistic enough that when people criticize him, he'll take it, that doesn't make sense. Narcissists are the worst at taking criticism. Why would you pick a narcissist? That would be the worst person to pick if you knew they were going to get a bunch of shit. That's the opposite of a reason. That's a reason to disqualify someone, not to pick them.
If we followed on our promise to rid Earth from Moloch. What?
Yeah?
Yes, you heard that correctly. Trump is a puppet president, but what he means to say by that is not that he's one of the evil cabal puppet presidents. He's a puppet president being puppeteered by the good guys, but he's not the mastermind genius. I'm not downplaying Trump's intelligence. He is a super genius, but he's...
Trump is a super genius. Did you know that?
Oof.
Kafifi, is, in fairness, requires a very high IQ to understand.
If he's a super genius, what am I?
You're part of the deep state. You're a scientist.
Okay.
He's not the genius behind the whole plan, okay? He's being puppeted. He's being given orders. That's what he means. That's what Majestic 12 is talking about. Given orders. And they're saying that he was narcissistic enough to take the heat given to him. Now, narcissism is generally bad, but...
Narcissism is always bad.
If you are, I guess, full of yourself enough that you can take all this heat and you just have enough confidence that you're okay with taking all the heat.
That is not how that works. Narcissism is not confidence. That's a very strange misunderstanding of narcissism. In fact, narcissism is often a result of just the opposite. People with narcissism, and this is a mistake a lot of people have about narcissism, people with narcissism don't necessarily have a super high self-esteem. Compensatory narcissism is a thing. Narcissists, in fact, deep down inside, often think very poorly of themselves, which is why they will compensate by going the opposite direction and outwardly portraying, and even on some level, lying to themselves and saying, I'm so great, I'm the best, I'm amazing, everyone needs to do what I want, I'm the most important person in the world, because they're compensating for how they really feel inside or whatever. There are other kinds of narcissism too. There's malignant narcissism and stuff, but compensatory narcissism is definitely a thing. I'd argue that's what my dad had. And still probably has, but I don't talk to him anymore. The idea that people with narcissism can inherently take criticism wrong, please look up, like, narcissistic rage, Peter. Narcissists hate being called out on their own bullshit, and they hate being criticized because it completely undermines their defense mechanism, which is the narcissism. So they lash out in order to protect their ego. It's not good.
That's a good thing. That's using narcissism in a good thing. And then it says, if we followed through on our promise to rid Earth from Moloch. Moloch, as I said, is destroying Earth, trying to turn Earth to a slave planet where we're treated even more like cattle than we have been. Like, everyone's microchipped, everyone's dumbed down, there's no consent. They can just take our children at any point and do whatever. We are treated like worse than cows, I put it that way. And so that's the rest is not really important, but I just want to point out that this is very, very heavy stuff, guys, and I understand that if you can't handle this, there's just too much for you to handle. But this is just a little bit of what's going on when it comes to exopolitics. Aliens have been interacting and influencing
this is the
politics.
40,000 level?
This is 30,000.
So, like, what happens when there's, like, we get to the top one?
I honestly don't know. I don't recognize a lot of the stuff on his list. I think the top one was actually reincarnation is real, so I assume he's just gonna get, like, weirdly spiritual at some point.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, if it's already this...
Yeah, this isn't even the middle of that roadmap. How crazy is it gonna get as we keep going up towards the top?
It takes for a long time. The country United States wouldn't exist if aliens hadn't helped to found it. And they did it. They helped create the United States to become the policeman of the world.
So Peter thinks that aliens created the United States of America in order to dictate global politics. Green man's burden.
What does that mean?
It's an allusion to the concept of white man's burden, which was a concept back during Manifest Destiny, in which they were like, it's the white man's burden to go out and claim territory for God and country, and we're gonna civilize these brutes. It was a mentality that went through a lot of, imperialism, and yeah, it was real gross. Surprised you haven't heard of that.
So the United States could protect the world. There's a lot of...
Did Baja shame me for this yet? What is this? Just do it. Just do it. Do it for the bits. This is your job. This is your job. You chose this. This is your life. Ooh woo, hugey woogies. That was a big thing in the furry fandom for a while. LOL, Nico Wolf.
Oh, Hannah, why?
Oh, whoa. She's still gonna sleep with me later.
Complicated chess moves going on. You think it's complicated with people? We'll add in the fact that aliens have been controlling people, living amongst people. There could be some politicians that are aliens. They're aliens living among us. Most aliens actually look like humans, so it's very easy for an alien to come to Earth and just live among us, breed with us, and get away with it, even though they're super intelligent. So aliens are so involved in politics. Take Planned Parenthood, for example. You think it's about, my choice. It's about my choice as a woman, blah, 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 blah.
Yes, Peter, that is what it's about.
And some people think, well, it's about, killing babies. But it's more than that. Planned Parenthood is something that was put into place by, these were orders given by Moloch to his puppets who created Planned Parenthood so that children could be murdered. Babies could be murdered.
No, Peter, no. No, that's not how it works. Planned Parenthood is a family planning and women's health clinic. Don't be like that. It's not a satanic trap. It's healthcare. Jesus.
And as they murder these babies, that horrible, horrible stuff, there's this like life force of terror or something that comes out when a baby is being murdered. And Moloch feeds off this negative, horrible energy. So Moloch wanted to feed off the horrible energy, which is basically the energy a baby gives off, the scream and terror and horrible feelings they go off when they're being murdered.
Babies give off energy when they're murdered? It's like Monsters, Inc., but R-rated. Jesus Christ. Yes, very blood libel-y.
Moloch feeds off that, and so Moloch wants a lot of that. So what they do is they tells their puppets, create Planned Parenthood. Great, now I have a ton of supply, thousands, millions and millions actually, of babies that are being murdered, and Moloch can feed off all this murdering of innocent babies. And, killing babies is happening in many countries around the world. And so, politically, on so many levels, aliens are interacting with politics. For example, one of my theories that hasn't been confirmed is that countries are actually alien experiments that are being separated through borders to prevent contamination of one experiment to the next. For example, the United States is
Wait, what?
Oh, they're doing a really bad job considering international travel exists.
I was literally still distraught about him thinking that abortion is killing babies and that they give off a life force and go through this terrible pain, which probably they don't because they haven't developed the necessary neurobiology stuff to, feel pain.
Yeah.
So, like, what just happened?
Countries are alien experiments, and they're separated by borders in order to keep the integrity of the experiments, even though...
What about Europe?
I guess the EU really fucked up the aliens' experiments. You ever go into the lab and the rats have, or the mice?
Not rats.
Sorry. Have you ever gone into the lab and the mice have created an economic union? And it fucks up your experiments? You're like, God damn it, Europe!
If that is what happens when some mice try to bite me, then I guess if that's an economic union.
Yeah. Next time they try and bite you, say, are you trying to form an economic union? And then introduce them to the concept of Brexit. So, there you go.
Alien experiment. Mexico's an alien experiment, and the border is one of the reasons for the border.
This feels like it might get eugenicsy. That's what this feels like. Like what happens when he starts claiming, like, if he claimed that, like, certain experiments are going better than other experiments, like...
Conspiracy theories are a pipeline to all sorts of racist, ethno-nationalist, ethno-supremacist bullshit. It's really, really bad.
And to Mexico from influencing the U.S. alien experiment. I'll get into aliens and alien experiment a little bit.
It's honestly, and I'll give him this, it's a unique way to try and fit the puzzle piece that is excessive nationalism into his alien conspiracy. Like, why would aliens care about American nationalism? Oh, because we're an experiment and we don't want to dilute the results of the experiment. It's still horribly racist and stupid, but at least he's trying to put that piece into place. I don't know.
I think that something that would be very
Thank you, Robert Morley.
For Peter would seeking help from a specialist in cult deprogramming.
I think, especially based on what he says later about hearing voices, I think he has some sort of schizoaffective disorder. I don't know if he has outright schizophrenia. I have no qualifications to determine that, but he's got something going on, because later he talks about hearing demon voices and them telling you to do bad things.
Whoa.
Which is a classic example of people who are having auditory hallucinations in Western culture. It's actually an interesting phenomenon in that in many cultures like America and Canada and the UK, auditory hallucinations will often have negative things to say, but in some other cultures, people who present signs of auditory hallucinations, they aren't profoundly negative in the same way. So it's actually pretty interesting.
Why would that be?
I don't know. I don't.
Like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
In another episode.
Marijuana and other drugs can exacerbate things like that if you already experience hallucinations.
I talk about the grand experiment and all the experiment aliens are doing on humans, but aliens have been influencing politics through puppeteering people, giving orders to politicians, getting people addicted to horrible, horrible stuff that I'm not even allowed to say here, and then controlling them through their harmful addictions and ordering.
Like, take a vacation, let his wife, like, chill with the kids, and just, like, take a really good, like, day-long chill session. Like, just get some good, restful sleep, and, like, I think that he's really lacking sleep, and, like...
He said he has, insomnia issues, and I think that's exacerbating his problems. He has a lot of different things going on that are all making this worse, and it makes him basically the perfect target for this kind of stuff. It's really sad.
And, like, we're not diagnosing or
No,
anything.
absolutely not.
I think that he deserves to, like, he deserves to have the space to, like, figure out his mental health and, like, health in general.
Yeah.
And I think that he should do that.
Them, even like through thoughts.
Sorry, I didn't mean schizoaffective disorder. What was I trying to say? Basically, the class of stuff that schizophrenia is a part of, that the range of, like, the schizophrenia stuff is in.
I know nothing about psychology.
I know, I was talking to chat because someone's parent corrected me. Thank you.
It's like aliens, evil entities, demons, evil spirits, whatever you want to call them, but they're interdimensional aliens, will tell people thoughts and be like, hey, do this evil thing. And then people will do it, and they're like, oh, I thought that was one of my thoughts. But it's really, when you hear these evil thoughts in your head telling you to do something, those aren't your thoughts, unless you're a psychopath and you're already there with those evil thoughts. Those are interdimensional.
He's talking about this as if he has first-hand experience, and that's what concerns me.
Interdimensional.
So is this what you were talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Alien.
So he doesn't say that he's hearing voices.
It sounds to me like he's trying not to say it, because he's like, when you hear these things, as if everyone hears this, because I think he thinks that because he hears it.
I think that you are you're saying things that he isn't saying.
All right, let me go back and we'll
and ordering them, even like through thoughts, like aliens, evil entities, demons, evil spirits, whatever you want to call them, but they're interdimensional aliens, will tell people thoughts and be like, hey, do this evil thing. And then people will do it, and they're like, oh, I thought that was one of my thoughts. But it's really, when you hear these evil thoughts in your head telling you to do something, those aren't your thoughts, unless you're a psychopath and you're already there with those evil thoughts. Those are interdimensional aliens trying to manipulate, trying to get you to do bad stuff so that they can feed off you.
Nah. I think that he's heard stories of people that hear voices and have auditory hallucinations, and he's trying to have an explanation. Like, maybe he saw that viral video of that kid that was being interrogated and pretending to hear things.
Okay. I still think he is hearing things, and he thinks other people do too. I mean, people do hear voices, but not...
I don't even want to speculate on it.
Okay.
One of these types of interdimensional aliens is called archons. You can look them up, but archons feed off the negative energy that's given off when people have horrible feelings like anger, guilt, shame, hatred, whatever, and they feed off that. So what these archons will do is they'll try to influence you to do a lot of bad stuff and then feed off that negative energy. So one of the reasons that they create so much terror and horrible things in the United States and also the world is just so they can feed off of us and do bad stuff. But then you have the good aliens like Majestic 12 who are like, oh my gosh, look at this poor planet Earth. All these evil aliens have been feeding off the negative energy and treating, using humans, like eating humans and using them like cattle and sex slaves and all this stuff. We need to save Earth.
What? I think that's the first time Peter has mentioned using humans as sex slaves. Why do the aliens want to bone humans? What?
So they teamed up with Trump, and believe me when I say this, there's more good.
Is he saying that they teamed up with Trump because they wanted to... I missed this.
No, he's not saying the aliens wanted to fuck Trump.
No. I'm saying that... Is he saying that Trump teamed up with the aliens because the aliens want to fuck humans?
No, he teamed up with the aliens that want to save the humans from alien sex trafficking.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh,
Good aliens
God.
and bad aliens, way more. And the good aliens, like Majestic 12, are saving us, and we will...
We'll go over the bingo card when the video's done.
Okay, Is he trying to use aliens as a way to explain, like, the trafficking that goes on Earth?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know. Because in his video yesterday, he talked about the statistics about the number of children that go missing every year, and he implied deep state. But he also thinks the deep state, air quotes, is working with the evil aliens. So it's, yes, I would imagine, from the top down, it appears that he thinks that sex trafficking is because there are sex trafficking aliens that are convincing humans to become involved in their alien sex trafficking of humans.
Okay. So let's not do that, Peter.
Yeah.
Trafficking is a really horrendous, real thing that happens to people, and it is done by other people. And that is a reality that we have to accept, that there are horrendous things that are happening, and let's not belittle it.
But then the thing is, Peter would respond to you and say, you're belittling it by not recognizing that aliens are behind it all. I'm trying to get to the actual truth of it. You can't rationalize when they didn't. It wasn't rationality that brought them into that belief in the first place. It just fits his preconceived notions.
Yeah, but I can do commentary directed at him, but is really for chat.
That's true. I do that all the time.
Over the next, I think, 15 years, I'm guessing, but I think about 15 years, there will be no more evil aliens left on Earth influencing us, or 99% of them will be gone. So
it's always that last 1%. That's how you end up with alien MRSA strains.
So they're trying to influence us. They're trying to get us to do bad stuff. They're creating laws and creating organizations for sacrificing, babies, like Planned Parenthood, and they're trying to, prevent people from using good medicines, instead, pushing pharmaceuticals on humanity to poison us and make us even sicker and more in debt and more traumatized, so they can. So there's in every way possible.
The point of which thing?
Pushing medication on people.
I would imagine he would think to weaken the human species.
So
and
this
make
is
them
the bad aliens that are doing this to
I
make
think
us
so.
more susceptible.
Yes.
Okay, so my life greatly improved when I started taking meds for my various issues.
Yes.
When I started getting treatment for my depression and PTSD, and then even more when I started taking medication for my ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just night and day difference. I can't even explain how much it's helped me being on medication. So, no, I am a lot better now. I'm a lot happier now. And that's why medications exist, to actually help people.
But what if Peter just offered you CBD he made at home with dirt in it that was made with isopropyl alcohol? Would that convince you to go off your meds?
As someone that has a degree in chemistry, I'm going to say no.
What if he tried to sell you some CBD from the shady MLM that he's a part of?
As someone that watches CC Suarez and Savannah Marie and the Illuminati and absolutely hates MLMs, I'm going to say no.
It's a shame. You could have unlocked your
True
pineal
full
gland.
potential- my
Pineal gland? I don't know how to pronounce it.
I say pineal gland.
Gotcha. You gotta decalcify it.
That you can think of. There's aliens who are interacting with us that are very evil, that are trying to poison us, terrorize us, do horrible things to us. And then you have good aliens who are doing the opposite. They're trying to protect us, and many times they are. They're trying to guide us away from the dark. Now, the good news, if you're being a little freaked out by all this influence of aliens and how they influence our thoughts and our mind, if you raise
Peter.
your vibration...
I'm not being freaked out by this.
No.
It's incomprehensible. Like,
These are delusional statements. Like, these are not the statements
They-
of someone who
Okay.
is in touch with reality.
to me, it's taking a bunch of things that don't fit together and trying to fit them together.
Yeah.
And, like, I get it. You're trying to make order from chaos and explain things that you don't understand about the world. Like that's what humans try to do. That's the basis of religion, trying to explain things that you can't understand. But sometimes you just have to accept that there are things that are not gonna be something that you can understand unless you, like, genetics. There are lots of people like Hannah. She doesn't, understand genetics.
Nope.
I do, though. I have spent a decade studying biology and genetics, so I understand it. But I have friends that are getting PhDs in nuclear physics. I don't understand that, but it doesn't cause me to go down a flat earth rabbit hole or something like that.
Sure. You don't become a nuclear physics truther because you don't understand it.
Yeah. It's just something that you don't understand, and you just have to trust other people that do understand it.
Or, alternatively, you could smoke some fat doinks and go on the internet and learn about aliens and how they're influencing the world. That's totes real, yo. A person on the internet said it. Do you think people are just allowed to go on the internet and lie? You seem distraught.
I'm surrounded by scientists all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's strange seeing the ways that, like, other people have been failed by, like, the education system or the health system.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm very lucky. I'm a first generation college student. Also first generation grad student.
I'm a second generation college dropout.
And I grew up in a place that has lead in the water, so that's nice.
Yeah.
But, like, now I have really good, like, experimental reasoning. Let's just say that. I have the ability to think, like, A to B to C and, figure out what needs to be done. I know how to ask questions. I know how to, like, figure out what things are credible and what are not. And honestly, those are skills that I didn't have until grad school. And seeing other people talk about things, it makes me realize how badly we need to be teaching those skills at a younger age, and just making sure that people understand how to find credible sources, how to question what they're being told, and actually, like, try and find the answers.
See, that's interesting, because I guarantee if you said that verbatim to Peter, he'd say, "What do you mean? I'm questioning things. I'm questioning science and the mainstream media," and...
Yeah, which is healthy, but...
He then seeks out alternatives that he does not vet properly.
Yeah. So the point isn't to question things and then go to John Doe on 4chan and be like, hey, explain nuclear physics to me. It's, find someone that's a nuclear physicist and maybe read a book if they've,
Excuse you, Peter has written and self-published 2 books.
Okay.
Those are the 2 books he's read, by the way, the ones he wrote.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because He didn't go to school or anything, Hannah.
I don't know. He's in a gun cult. Did he go to school? I don't know. I don't know what the schooling situation was for him.
Well, I'm sure he's read other books.
By
Oh, that person that was screaming at me saying that I was deleting comments to protect Peter is gonna think that I'm literally protecting Peter when I'm really protecting Hannah.
Yeah. Someone on YouTube was just being absolutely crazy and accusing Baha or I of deleting a comment, and neither of us did. I don't even moderate my comments. Baha does, because I don't want to deal with random transphobia. So she didn't delete it, but that happens on YouTube sometimes. Comments either get caught by the auto mod filter or whatever. He was livid. It was the dumbest.
It was wild. Basically, there are like 3 things that can happen. Either your comment doesn't get posted because it has one of the 3 words that we specifically block, which are all derogatory terms for certain groups of people. And then it can be caught by YouTube's auto mod, which is just random. Sometimes they will they will hold comments and they go into a little tab that says held for review, and it's only because you have posted multiple comments in a certain span of time on a certain channel, and they think that it's spam. They think that you're a bot and they think it's spam. So those comments get held for review. If you don't look at them for 60 days, they get automatically deleted. I try and look at them every 2 days, but YouTube doesn't update the held for review tab long enough. So sometimes I won't even see the comments that are held for review for weeks.
Yeah.
And, or I go in, and another thing that can happen to your comment is I manually delete it. There are 2 reasons that I manually delete comments. If they attack Hannah because of her physical appearance or her gender identity, I will delete those comments. If it's just criticizing Hannah about comment or something, like content, like that's fine. I don't care. Like, criticize Hannah all you want.
Yeah, you've criticized me over things I've said, rightfully so.
And another thing I will delete is if it threatens harm against another person. And so I explained what could have happened to this person's comments, and they absolutely went off saying that I deleted it and I just need to, like, admit it, that I made a mistake, and that, like, I can go fuck myself and all this stuff. And I was like, no, like, I didn't see your comment. Like,
people are nuts.
Yeah, it was wild.
praying, by meditating, by thinking of love and God and pure thoughts, you will repel all the negative alien and their influences, their thoughts.
How do they know if I'm thinking about God?
Alien energy or
and
demon
what God?
energy or
Which God does it have to be,
evil
Peter?
spirit energy? You can repel it. And so, on top of that, when you do good things and you pray, you connect with God or your spiritual beliefs, your high integrity, your morality, and think, pure loving thoughts all the time, you attract good aliens, and now you're reaching their high vibration. The more you do that, the more they can help you with your life and help you help humanity. So, in other words, if you start doing really dark stuff, you'll attract dark aliens. If you do good stuff, you start attracting good aliens. So, long story short, be a good person if you are concerned about, aliens interacting with you. And I definitely recommend that people start learning telepathy, because that is the universal language, I guess you could say, for talking with aliens. And if you learn telepathy, which I'll make an episode about it, it's not that hard to do. I mean, the hardest part is decalcifying your pineal gland, which takes a long time. But once you learn telepathy, you can be more receptive, and you raise your vibration. You can be more receptive to the thoughts and information from...
I'm so excited for Peter to teach us telepathy. Yes, Peter, teach me how to do telepathy.
Okay.
Evelyn.
Yes.
I'm thinking for a second.
Okay. That's better than Peter did, so.
Oh, what did I wanna say? God damn it! I remember what I wanted to say. I think that Peter is seeing things that are happening in the real world with people and like things that affect people, but he's getting like the reasoning wrong.
Okay, meaning?
Like, you know, the whole if you have bad thoughts or like you don't think positively, then you'll attract like dark demons or whatever. But if you think positively, you'll attract like, you know, good demons.
Okay.
Or aliens or whatever he's calling them. When I think it's more likely that if you know, are born into and grow up in a like bad environment in terms of something that fosters growth.
So let's say you grew up in a gun cult. That would probably be bad.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm just like anything that doesn't offer you a stable foundation, doesn't allow you to make mistakes and like grow and learn. It like those things will affect you in, you know, in terms of your emotions and how you deal with those things and your emotional intelligence. And so if you have experienced a bunch of negative things or didn't have like support that you needed, you will probably tend to be more negative. And like I don't have any, you know, this is just me spouting things. But like if you grow up and you had support and were, you know, nurtured and everything, then you probably will have better emotional intelligence and will be a more positive person. And that, like, life experience of having support and all of that stuff will help you feel like you can do more things. And that will probably, you know, in general, propel people further than like growing up and learning in a more stressful environment, less nurturing environment that will probably cause you to have a, you know, more critical attitude, including towards yourself, and it will, you know, probably in general, like, you know, hinder that. But I'm not trying to be Peter's therapist. I'm just trying to explain that he's like blaming this on aliens when there's a different line of events that probably happen. It's not people are negative and attract demons which cause worse, like bad things to happen. It's just bad things happened that made them negative.
Aliens. At any point you can contact benevolent aliens telepathically, and you can tell if they're high vibration or not, so you don't attract, you're not talking to some evil spirits, but they can guide you, they can help you. God is always there to guide you and help you as well. So I know what's happening in the world is very complicated, traumatic, scary, especially if you go down the wormhole, which is what I've done, and I've gone down the wormhole, as you can see. I'm at the...
I wonder why he uses wormhole and not rabbit hole. Is it because aliens?
It might just be like a
sounds like
regional
science
thing.
fiction, but
Maybe
science
people
fact.
in Pennsylvania or wherever he's from say wormhole, and like us up in Michigan say rabbit hole.
It's difficult, but understand that the Patriots are in control, the good aliens are in control. We're winning this war.
It's just weird because, like, down the rabbit hole is, like, an allusion to Alice in Wonderland. And, like, I'm down the rabbit hole, things are weird. That's, you know what I mean? There's no allusion to down the wormhole. It doesn't mean anything other than it's a wormhole.
We're in the middle of World War III, and aliens are on our side. It's all going to be okay.
Mr. Fred Rogers says, I'm from Pennsylvania. Peter is just weird.
But you have to understand that so many laws, so many decisions by politicians, so many actions of the human species as it relates to politics were influenced either directly or indirectly by aliens on so many levels. So it's almost
Tell me
like
the
sometimes
levels.
I think good aliens and bad aliens are using humans as pawns to play some type of chess game
Okay,
to conquer.
Peter. Where did the aliens come from? Are there a bunch of different alien groups that are in the good aliens and a bunch of different alien groups that are in the bad aliens? Did they each come from a separate planet and there's just two groups of aliens that we know of? Did they come from the same planet? Are they like a sister planet to Earth? And then there's some good aliens and some bad aliens. And why Earth? Peter, why Earth?
Because Earth, specifically America, is the most important planet in the universe.
Okay. So if these aliens come from the same planet and there are just some good aliens and some bad aliens, what about Earth, Peter? Aren't there just some good humans and some bad humans?
He would say yes, the deep state are the bad humans.
Yeah, but he's saying that all of that stuff is brought on by the aliens. So, what caused the aliens to be bad? Is there another group of aliens?
It's good and evil aliens all the way up. It's just infinite regression of aliens controlling aliens.
I can't wait till Peter threatens to sue me.
Sometimes it feels like that because there's so much influence of aliens on politics and humans. It's just like, so are we just pawns and this is just like a game to them? I don't know. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Am I going too far for you? I'm sorry if I am, but
Go further, Peter. Go further.
next episode I'm going to the 40,000 foot perspective, which is the Q operation strategy, and then we're going to keep going higher and higher. So these shows are going to sound crazier and crazier, but the fact is I don't really care if a lot of people believe me or not, because I am just putting seeds of ideas into people's head to warm them up to the idea of this stuff being true, so that when it's released that all the stuff I'm saying is correct, they're not like, people aren't like, startled and traumatized. They'd be like, oh, I heard Peter say that, and I consider that a possibility. So they're not, you'll have mental breakdowns and stuff. These shows are to help people not have mental breakdowns, because a lot's going to be released in the next few years, and I'm trying to help people with this process of integrating all this crazy information into your head and staying sane at the same time. And the best way to do it is connect with God, pray, meditate, raise your vibration, think pure thoughts, think loving, high integrity thoughts, and put on the armor of God, as often is said, which is said very often, and protect yourself. And it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. So let me know what you think in the comment section. I hope this video helped you understand that the good guys are winning, good aliens are on our side, and it's all going to be okay. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Jesus Christ, Peter.
Okay. I'm gonna give some friendly advice.
Ew, look at this video that he just uploaded.
What is it?
The background is just almost exactly the same pigment as his skin tone. It creeps me out.
Maybe he went to Home Depot and said, I want my wall to be this color.
He pointed at his skin?
Yeah.
Okay, he has a new channel too.
Okay. I want to give Peter some, friendly advice.
Please do. Because I don't think he's going to listen to me. I'm too snarky and mean.
Okay, Peter, genuinely, I think that you should take a vacation from YouTube, spend some time with your kids and your wife, and enjoy them. Enjoy sitting and talking to your parents. Like, just take some time. Make sure that you get, like, a good 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I know that it's going to be hard. You probably have a new baby or will have a new baby soon. But, like, 7 to 9 hours.
What I'm concerned about is one of his previous kids was born with that medical condition, I forget the name of which, with the holes on them.
Yeah.
I'm really concerned and that something similar is going to happen with this new kid, and Peter's going to refuse to get medical care like he did last time.
Okay. So we don't know if it was a sacral dimple. The image that he showed didn't look like a sacral dimple.
Developmental geneticist, by the way.
Like, I'm not gonna speculate, but
Probably a good call.
I would say to Peter, go take, if something happens, just get medical attention for your kid. Like doctors are there to help. I say that as if I'm a doctor. Like, scientists and doctors and medical health professionals are not deep state pawns. Like,
That's exactly what a deep state pawn would say.
it's just, it's sad, and I think that Peter deserves to live his best life, and I don't think that what he's doing right now is exactly that. Like, he didn't go to the beach with his kids and his wife that one day.
Yeah, he did a live stream instead, which he could have done later in the day, presumably. He's a stay-at-home dad. He
Peter,
didn't need to do it at that time.
prioritize your children and your family, including yourself.
In fairness, he is a stay-at-home dad. Maybe it was a case because his wife works, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. He stays home with the kids all the time. His wife had a day off. She's like, hey, hon, I know you deal with the kids all the time. I know you want to do your YouTube thing. I'll take him to the beach for a couple hours, and you can have some time to yourself. I would understand that.
Yeah, I understand that too. But I think, like, you know, I'm not going to criticize, like, their parenting,
Oh,
obviously.
no, I would never do that. Other than that, if your kid has holes in them, please get medical attention.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Go take your kids to the doctor. Get them vaccinated. And, like, do things that are recommended by the doctor. If your kid, this is advice in general to chat. If there's something wrong, like, take your kid to the doctor. And
It's literally child abuse if you don't, legally. So, also, Peter told his wife she's not allowed to get the vaccine, I think, if I remember correctly in one video. I really hope she went behind his back and went and got vaccinated.
The CDC says that it's completely fine for people that are pregnant to get vaccinated. Many people in chat have discussed, like, their partners being pregnant and getting the vaccine, or them being pregnant and getting the vaccine. There are actual, like, it's being tracked, like, any side effects or anything that's happening, specifically in pregnant people. So if something happens, the vaccine would, get pulled and not be used for pregnant people anymore.
In fact, for like a few days or a week or something, there was concerns over the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, so they stopped administering it for like 3 or 4 days while they investigated, and then they found it was fine, and they put it back up.
Yeah, like, the good thing about the person that's pregnant being vaccinated, most likely the baby will also have antibodies when they're born.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible. Like, think about that. Like, there's a baby inside of a person, and the person is injected with a vaccine that teaches their immune system how to fight off a pandemic and then the mother passes those antibodies on to the baby.
All right, let's watch this real quick and then move on away from Peter.
Welcome, Patriots. Thank you for watching this channel update. I've made a new channel backup because Rumble is not allowing me to post videos anymore. Every time I try to post a video on Rumble, it just says error, video with this title already exists, and I know that's not the case. So
I thought for a second he was going to say he got banned from Rumble,
me
and I was
too.
like, how do you get banned from Rumble?
I haven't been able to post any videos. I've tried multiple different types of videos, uploading with different names, different file names, different titles, just not working anymore. So I have no backup channel, at least I didn't. So now I have a backup YouTube channel, and I'm going to be posting a new show there called Trump is Winning.
Surprised you didn't go to... Well, no, he has a BitChute channel, I think.
Yeah.
Weird that he's not using the BitChute one.
So as far as I can remember, there were...
The audio mix is weird. I can see the visual that it's very uneven in the left and right channels.
Was that directed towards me?
No, someone in chat asked.
Oh.
Pure Squire said, is his audio mix weird?
Okay. As far as I remember seeing, I haven't, looked into it further, but the J&J vaccine, seemed to have a very, very low, chance of causing blood clots. Like, a lot lower chance than, hormonal birth control. And hormonal birth control is used a ton. And that, that's...
He did get kicked off Patreon recently, so that's probably not good either for him.
And I'm going to be putting a lot of attention on this show because I think it's important. I think less than 1% of Americans believe Trump is winning, and that's kind of sad because Trump has told us he is winning. So I'm really going to focus on this new
And Trump has never lied about winning before.
show called Trump is Winning so that I can cheer people up and make people feel better and confident that it's all going to be okay. Thank you for watching. I hope this is a good channel update. Explains why I'm not posting a Rumble. And it's going to take me a little while to post my first Trump is Winning episode. But be excited because I'm taking my channel passion hobby into a new direction that's really going to be ideal for you, the viewer, and also me, who is putting a lot of work into this. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it if you guys could donate a little bit. That's fine. But not, I think I'm just going to focus on content that brings in ad revenue and is YouTube friendly, because it's a little unsustainable to just run on donations. So thank you so much, everyone, for your support, the people who've been donating, sharing, liking, commenting, and joining my live streams. I really appreciate it. We're all patriots. We're all helping Trump save the world, and I really, really like this community a lot. I like spending time with you guys and interacting with you guys. I'm hoping to do more live streams soon. So I hope this is a good channel update. It explains why I may not be able to post for a week. But please subscribe to my new channel. The link is in the
Learn about dark mode, Peter.
description below.
That's the real crime here.
It's going to be my backup channel, and I'm posting my new show there. So I might even transition to that channel. I'm not sure how long this current channel will even be up. So my new channel is called Trump is Winning. Please subscribe there. Click on the description below. You'll see the link to it in the description, and enjoy. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate all the support and all the subscriptions. Have a good day, Patriots.
Like, when this show first started, not my show, Peter's show, he had a genuine optimism about him, about this conspiracy stuff. But more and more lately, the optimism feels incredibly forced and fake.
Yeah.
He's definitely not doing well, so I'm kind of worried about Peter. I'm definitely worried about his family. He says his friends and family watch his show, so I hope some of them see this stuff. And I don't even know Peter that well, and I can pick up on that he needs some support and...
Like, he did that video where he was basically asking for someone to just be like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Which, like, Peter...
The
Please.
thing, I know, his parents aren't the most well-adjusted. They're in the gun cult, so
Hannah, you have Hannah's email. Find me on Twitter. I know that you know I have a Twitter.
I don't know.
Like, seriously. If you need help, there are plenty of people that you can reach out to. Like, you can find the help that you need. If you're not doing well, like, talk to your wife. She's your life partner. She's there for you no matter what. Like,
so that's Peter.
and yeah, definitely take a break from the internet. Take a break from Q. Just go a week without the internet and see if it helps you feel better.
Okay, we have a ton of bit messages to get through. Oh boy.
Yeah, bit messages and then bingo.
Pyromancer says, if my hair grew at this, read that one. Spiritual 46, thanks for following. Last Firstborn X says, Baha Hannah is a person, not a thing. Did I say she was a thing? Bellum Guardian says, that went from 0 to 100 real fast, even for Peter. Crizia says, holographically manifest in flesh, question mark? I know, it's a contradiction. Mike Max says, so Trump is not a hero, he's a Pokemon, a pet for the aliens. Yeah, and he can only say Donald Trump, like a Pokemon. Donald Trump, Donald Trump.
Yeah, we're gonna do the bingo after this.
One Speedy Yoshi says, see, this is so sad. He wants so hard to be important, understand the world. He's taking trauma... Stop doing it!
I was trying to pull this, and it just kept not working.
He's taking trauma he has, like about his daughter's illness when she was born or being drugged, and taking it so far as to follow a literal narcissist. And now he's even throwing the narcissist under the bus to try and understand the truth. Yeah, it's sad. Blackwing Hecate says, Moloch shows up in the SMT games. Andrew Bertella says, you think this is a novel, you're gonna think this is science fiction, bad sci-fi at most. Alex Zanderov says, oh, Peter. Towing24 says, Flag Day was yesterday and nothing happened. When does Peter owe you two the sweet gun crowns for the wedding? Wait, was that did we make a bet about that day? Did he say by Flag Day? I guess I don't even remember. Pyromancer said, you can handle aliens as long as you have water. One Speedy Yoshi says, yeah, I've seen signs. One Speedy Yoshi says, everyone, eventually he's gonna is it supposed to be get it? Eventually he's gonna get it. Get to. A flat plane sitting on top of 4 elephants astride the shell of a giant turtle named Atuin, or maybe Maturin the turtle, Pennywise's archenemy from the Dark Tower series for some reason.
Hydrate.
Fizzy Foam, thanks for following. Hoikaman, thanks for resubscribing for a year. Happy anniversary. Yoshi says, I agree with Baha. There are some things that I just cannot watch you watch. I like Danzy, but I cannot watch Elliot Hulse or Nathan Thompson or Tate, and I can barely stand John Doyle. But sometimes I can stand the quartering and Sargon. Don't these earphones suck? They hurt my ears.
I have tiny ears, so... Oh.
Mike Mack says, Hannah plays Danzy at wedding. Baha, what did it cost you? Hannah, everything. Pyromancer says, do you think all the evil Majestic 12 have goatees? Yeah, they look just like the regular Majestic 12, but it's goatees and eye patches. Von Tuck says, Baha isn't trying to watch Tim and Eric sober, is she? You gotta get baked first. She doesn't like being high.
I would think that it was even worse if I was high.
One Speedy Yoshi says, they're not saying, please believe me. It's absurdist. That's the whole That's the whole point, is that
Yeah.
that's the point. It's so
No.
good.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get what you get out of it. Like, why absurdist for being just absurd is stupid. Like,
That's the whole point of absurdism.
No, you can do absurdism that actually teaches you something or, like, offers something.
Yeah.
And that is not it.
It is. Tim
No,
and
it's
Eric is
not.
amazing.
It
Rules.
doesn't offer you anything.
It offers me entertainment and laughs.
But it's not funny. It's just
it's
absurd.
funny. It's
just
funny.
stupid. It's just absolutely incoherent.
Bullet crown. Ooh, look at this
Uh-uh.
bullet crown.
No.
Why not?
0%.
Why? Look it.
No.
Oh my god, it's $95. Jesus
0%.
Christ. Shh. You don't control how I spend my money after we move.
Please don't buy the fucking bullet crown. Jesus Christ.
Why not? I genuinely don't understand why you're against the bullet crown. Pyromancer says, do you think... Oh, read that one. One Speedy Yoshi says they're not saying, please believe me, they're saying meditate on it, because belief and meditation aren't closely related. Nick says, fun fact, 69 is a multiple of 3. One Speedy Yoshi says, oh, I've been seeing 69 everywhere. Nice. Blackwing Hecty says, we not sure it wasn't a Fargate? Andrew Batella says, I thought this was a regular salad. Who the fuck put words in here? Old enough to know better now says, 369, Peter is not fine. Life's gonna sock it to him one more time. He low. I don't know what I'm supposed to read that to the tune of. Fryserburn says, 369 are the first words stated in Yin Yang Twins and Lil Jon's song Get Low, Illuminati confirmed. Ah, that's probably what the reference was. Strumbly for Wi-Fi says, do your cats jump on your lap when you're on the toilet too? Must be quantum kit tanglement.
Do people leave the door open when they go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh.
Alien Gal says the British have their own version of the technology Peter describes, but ours is less of a gate and more of a blue box type affair that can take a surprisingly large number of people. Chrysia says, torsion fractal is worse than nonsense. Fred Rogers says, hey Hannah, have you ever heard of the real-life Men in Black? It's different from Majestic 12, started from a photo back in the 60s, clearly fake, but the mythos behind it is truly fascinating. I've not heard about it. Andrew Patella says, it's always they, isn't it? Come on. NBs rise up. Everyone knows we're the Illuminati, but it's ourselves. Nick says, too long didn't watch. Peter's support network has failed him. Stormfox99 says, not only does it sound like science fiction, it sounds like shitty science fiction. Also, don't panic, Peter, but you have several micro... I'm not gonna read that.
Let me see.
It was just, it's just soaking.
No,
I don't think
that's not good.
No. I know you're joking.
Don't trigger anyone that has any kind of delusion.
No, that's not cool.
They do.
Stromboli for Wi-Fi says, physics major here, the Higgs boson particle used to be called the goddamn particle because it was so difficult to find mathematically, theoretically. I actually knew that. Pyromancer says, CERN was inspired by Event Horizon. Mike Mack says, isn't this the plot for a Star Trek episode of the Blue Hologram Projector or something similar? I don't remember. I've seen a lot of Star Trek. Nick says, yes, you heard that correctly. Meow. Lol. It's hard when I read these an hour later and I have no idea what the context was. Andrew Patella says, that's a reason to disqualify him, not pick him. Alternatively, there's a discussion in philosophy about how do we prove the laws of logic. It's possible the aliens have disproven them, and so false things can become true. Beautiful. Pyromancer says, Trump is the only person smart enough to understand Rick and Morty. Nick says, Wile E. Coyote is Trump's persona. Mike says, Trump is a super genius that bankrupted a casino and other stuff. Tea with Goblin says, morning Hannah, morning Baja, what a lovely day for tinfoil bat shittery. Tucker White says, starting late on Tuesday, my ass, learn to keep a consistent schedule, goddammit. Or chill their internet videos. Logarth says, anathema. Andrew Batella says, I'm not into the Owo cult, just for the funsies. Ooh woo. Tucker White says, Peter's so definitely the imposter. Blackwing Hecate says, Sussus Among Us is real. Amomomo211, thanks for subscribing with Prime. Mike says, didn't God kill babies with the plague and flood? I'm surprised he doesn't talk the connection between God and aliens. He probably will in future episodes, but yes, God does kill babies.
So God feeds the aliens?
I guess so. Xenon Exemer says, does Peter think any humans do anything because they, want to? It's aliens all the way down. Pyromancer says, if each country was supposed to be an experiment, then maybe every country should be like Australia. Tea with Goblin says, everyone knows that Eadth was created by interstellar... I assume that's Earth. Everyone knows that Earth was created by interstellar mice as an experiment to find the ultimate answer to life, the universe, and everything. Mice, Peter, read your newsletters. 42.
That's funny because we do experiments on mice. And...
It's a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide.
But it's also, people do experiments on mice, and mice doing experiments on people.
In Hitchhiker's Guide, the aliens that create the Earth as an experiment are mice. Or they appear to be mice.
That's probably...
Yeah. Robert Morley says, love me some Hannah Reloaded Tinfoil. Thank you so much for those enormous bits. Morok says, Peter just keeps getting worse and worse, isn't he? Also, you catch the Nintendo Direct. I caught a little bit of it. Breath of the Wild 2 looked good. The new powers look cool. I'm not excited for the new Smash Brothers character. I'm not familiar with Tekken. I mean, I know it exists, but I don't know any of the characters. The other stuff looked okay. Morok says, oh hey, I had demon voices and saw them too before I got on meds. Tucker says, if borders are alien experiments, then what's Trump's excuse for not having graboids guard the wall? Robert Morley says, they say life begins at conception, but compassion ends at the border. Ooh, that's pretty good. I like that. Archie is me. Thanks for following. Tucker says, may I assume that Baja being here counts as Baja Blasts on the bingo card? Not just being here, but she said enough that I would say Baja Blasts is... But we'll do the bingo in a little bit. Andrew says, when is he bringing up the Thetans and Xenu? Vellum Guardian says, at this level of delusion, does Peter even need to be hearing voices? Logarth says, this is the worst EU fanfic I've ever heard. Winter Crow resubscribes for 2 months, says, hey, 2 months cool. Love your work, Hannah. Keep being awesome.
Send your bingo card, then.
Blackwing Hecate says, you can't reason someone out of an idea that they didn't reason themselves into in the first place. Kirthan says, I vote we introduce Peter to the Dussy guy. Maybe then he can channel his conspiracy passion harmlessly into architecture. How do you send it? Just send us the URL on your bingo card, like at the top, copy-paste the URL and put it in chat. Morok says, agree, Baha. Before I got my meds, I thought I was a werewolf and also the Antichrist. Meds made me so much happier. Let's see if we have a bingo winner. Satanic? Yes. Word salad? Yes. Free space? Yes. Baja Blast? Yes. Tracking microchip implants. Did he mention tracking microchip implants? Chat, were tracking microchip implants mentioned? And in what context? He did? What was the context? Can I get some seconds and thirds on this to... Okay, it's just a second person saying yes.
Okay, but what
There's
was
someone
the
saying
context?
no.
Because I don't remember them
Yeah,
at
I don't
all.
remember it either. What did he say about them? Because some people are saying yes, but we have at least one no. Someone says no clue. So... He did when he was mentioning the people getting enslaved. He did actually say that. I remember that. He was going on a diatribe and he's like, we're going to be enslaved and sex slaves and they're going to chip us. I do remember that.
Okay.
So yep, that's a win. Who sent this to me? Jezebel End. Alright. Here's your sub. We got a bingo winner before I even really went over bingo.
We should do another one. Another bingo winner.
Are you going to pay for it?
Do I have money?
I don't know. I would hope so. We're saving to buy a house. Congrats. Anonymous Cheer, thanks for 20 bits. We're almost done with the bits messages, by the way. Von Tuck says, worker ownership would fix so much of the crazy. People would be less alienated from the system that controls their lives. I mean, yeah, people are always going to be susceptible to delusions, but I agree the system we're working under currently is not helping. Tucker White says, Redneck Hannah, you just want a bunch of brainwashed liberals running about her, Barhar. Oh, you want a bunch of brainwashed liberals running about here, Barhar.
I hated that. Never do that voice again.
Tucker White says, Thor, Baja, obviously. Again, I don't know what the context on these are. Andrew Patella says, my headcanon is that Peter really did go through a wormhole. Also, through a wormhole, things are weirder. You want to see space-time pinched into two disconnected universes? Are you high? Blackwing Hecty says, Hannah, with those round glasses, you're like a trans Morpheus.
Fresno 12 says that they'll pay for it.
Okay. Well, if you take the blue pill, you will wake up with titties. If you take the kazoo pill, you won't have titties, but you can annoy your friends.
Needs to be red. Silly.
You can't really see the blue in the blue pills. These are estrogen pills, is the joke. Sorry. Robin Hood Anarchist, thanks for following. Logarth with 20 bits says, too late for that, Peter. What about Bob with a $5 donation says, using my telepathy to send you some of my thoughts in cash. Thank you. Clear Cat says, Hannah and Baha need matching tinfoil hats. Alex Zandarov with 100 bits says, great show, enjoy hearing Baha's perspective too. Silent Pete resubscribes for 13 months, thank you. Blackwing Hecty says, Hannah, please take the staring Peter wall off the screen. Lomain319, thank you for resubscribing for 4 months. Random invite with 50 bits says, I'm literally begging everyone who can get the vaccination. Please do. Kirthan says, the JJ blood clotting thing happened right after my sister got the vaccine. Our family has a history of increased blood clotting risk, so she was like, what the fuck? This is how I die. Well, I hope she's okay. I assume she is. Nick says, to be fair, a lot of conservatives hate birth control, but not because they give the slightest fuck about women. One Speedy Yoshi says, I never liked the word patriot because it was just something people used to suckle themselves while not caring about others, but now, actual terrorists and white supremacists use it. Alexander Kov, thanks for 50. One Speedy Yoshi says, just donating more bits so Hannah has to waste more time on bits donations. Oh, I'm sure people love that. Rublum says, I'm sorry, Baha, but free real estate is free real estate.
I don't even get that.
It's free real estate.
I don't get it. I don't get what that means. I don't get what I said to warrant that. Oh, fuck you,
The
no.
following advertisement is intended for Jim Booney only.
It's free real estate.
Bite me.
I will. Nick says, ooh, rise up. Muddy says, going through the Trump stuff is always weird for me. My mom's one of the people who believe the election was faked, among other crazy stuff, so it's like, oh god, what if I believed in this stuff too? I'll be so happy when I can finally move out.
I love how Hannah thinks she's getting laid after this.
Chat. I am.
No, she's not.
Andrew Dickerson says, did you know lions will throw their young off cliffs and only raise the ones that can climb back up? I didn't know that. Lovely.
Kinky.
Also, sorry, people are sending links. What is this one? Oh, the prices one? That one's pretty good too. Speedy Yoshi says, I'll take the kazoo. Joke's on you, the kazoo was laced with estrogen all along. Morok says, I'll take the titties, please. Andrew says, now we'll absolutely need to know the color T-pills are. It's a good question. MW1642, thank you for the bits. Tucker White, with nonsense I'm not going to read, because that joke got old after the second time you did it. One Speedy Yoshi says, I can't wait for the full-length picture, Baja versus Hannah and memes. Ugh. Okay, we can watch this real quick. You sure you don't want to watch this, Baja? This was requested.
Is it Tim and Eric?
Yes.
No, I'm not
Okay.
gonna watch it.
Okay, let me put it this way.
Not funny. It is the opposite of funny. Like,
I'm not
it's
telling
just
you.
Stupid.
I'm not telling you you need to find it funny. Humor is subjective. But can't you understand that other people find it funny?
I can't understand why other people would find it funny.
Because
No.
it's so absurd. It's so ridiculous.
I don't understand what's funny about absurdity.
Well, I guess that's just not the kind of humor you like then.
My price.
So, like, what are you trying to do?
Nothing! I just find it funny that you're, like, upset about...
I'm not upset. I just think that it's ridiculous.
Alright, let's see what's next. Oh yeah, we were gonna look at the bingo card, and then we'll get to the next thing. Jesus Christ, we're 2 and 18, and we only watched one video. I'm gonna have to do like a 4-hour stream today. Population control is a motive. I think he mentioned stuff like that. The deep state. The whole thing is about Q, even though he didn't literally say Q because YouTube, so Q claimed as a source.
I think that someone doesn't understand how cameras work because Peter and his face being the same color as his wall.
Okay, a little bit different, sure. Baja Blast. Oopsie. I hate when I do that. Satanic. Wow, Peter got a lot of these. Illuminati. Freemasons. My research said not my researcher. I assume he said that, right? Nah, he implied it, but he didn't say it. Alright, I think that's what we got right now. Cool, let's get back to the actual content. Sorry, everyone. Jesus.
If someone gets bingo, we had someone in chat that offered to pay for another, like, sub for someone. So if you get bingo, still send it and we'll verify. And then, I think it was Fresno12 said that.
Peter Hanna, your one-stop shop for tinfoil bingo. Yeah. Okay, so this is RV Truth, trying to prove that the International Space Station isn't real. Well, let's check this out.
This is a very important video presentation for those that are on the fence,
Did you want to watch this one?
those that believe.
Hang out with the kitties.
Alrighty, give him some scritches for me.
I will. Goodbye, chat. I also need food.
Deep State, yeah, the Deep State was mentioned. Sorry if I missed that one.
In so-called space travel, I'm going to show 3 different astronauts from 3 different.
Could you do me a favor? Could you bring me those wheat thins?
Sure. You need more water?
Yes, actually. Thank you. I love you. Sorry, it's not the easiest to grab onto. Oh, shoot!
This is why you need to use your good bottle.
I think I gotta get a different one. That one, it's like leaching something into the water. It's making it taste bad. It's like, I don't know.
Different countries dropping items in zero gravity, so-called zero gravity, aboard the ISS. So
Technically, there's nowhere in the universe with zero gravity. It's often referred to as zero gravity because you're in a constant state of free fall since you're in orbit. So it's like there's zero gravity, but there's gravity everywhere, all the time. Speedy Yoshi says, that taste is just the lead in the water, Hannah, don't worry. No. Logarth says, it's microgravity. Yeah.
Again, this is so very important to understand. It's not just NASA, the U.S. that's pulling this deception off. It's all these world so.
It shouldn't, just for the record, chat, any sort of like lead and water joke, Baja's from Flint. This ain't the chat for it, so please don't make, I know you don't necessarily like, nothing. There was a lead and water joke, and I was telling chat not to do that.
Called space organizations. And let's get right to it with this Dutch astronaut Andre Kuipers.
Andrew Patella says, according to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, flying is the art of falling and missing the ground.
Let's take a listen to what he says here.
And you stick it to the wall. You know, we have tape everywhere to fix things. We have this kind of Velcro straps, so you can fix it around cables. And so you need all these things to keep your stuff in place, because otherwise you lose it. It just floats away and it doesn't fall down.
And it doesn't fall down, and that's very key and very important. Let's get right to it with Andre Kuipers during this tour aboard the so-called ISS.
Hier achter deze
Thank you.
panelen wordt de urine opgevangen en
I'm going to stop right there. And what he's pulling on is not an actual screw. It's a ring that's attached to this panel. And let's take a look at what happens here. And take a very close listen to it drop.
I'm guessing it's going to move in a certain direction that he's going to determine. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm guessing it's going to move in a direction that the camera... I love you. What's probably going to happen is it's going to go that direction, which he's going to decide is down, because that's the orientation the astronaut and the camera are in. So do your eye, because we spend all of our lives on Earth, unless you're an astronaut. We assume that that's down. But on the International Space Station, it's a little more complicated. The International Space Station, I'm sure there's a general direction that, you know, they consider sort of down, but there's not really a down. They're in orbit. They're in microgravity. So things can go in directions if they're prodded. I'm sure he does something and it, like, moves or whatever. And it might even hit the wall and make a noise. I don't know. But that doesn't mean that it fell down. It means it moved through the space because it's in microgravity and it can do that.
There he goes. Now he's going down, looking down for it. And very important, again, you see...
He probably bumped it. He probably unscrewed it, and because his arm was against the wall like that, he had tension against the screw with his finger, so when it finally popped out of the hole, or whatever, the force of his finger, and now it was released, so it wasn't being stopped by the fact that it was screwed into the wall, it pushed it downward. Or downward, air quotes. That doesn't mean it's gravity pushing it towards the Earth. It means they're in microgravity and things can go a direction when you bump them in that direction.
The rings, here's a ring, and there's no ring here because it dropped. So again, getting back to what he said earlier.
you lose it. It just floats away and it doesn't fall down.
So are you going to explain the shots of the things clearly floating around? Or are you just going to ignore that? Because I can explain the ring thing. Can you explain the floating stuff?
And he says, again, it doesn't fall down, and we just saw that happen. Now, very interesting. Let's take a look here at this YouTube video. Now, I found this pretty hilarious with the Andre Kuipers tour, the U.S. edition with the European Space Agency's official YouTube channel. Let's take a look here at the comments. And you don't see much interaction whatsoever by, as you can see, the European Space Agency's the handler of the channel itself. There's no interaction, or very little, I should say, as you scroll around. There's no responses, no hearts. But take a look here. I found it pretty hilarious what I came across here as I scroll. Again, no interaction. You have to keep scrolling, and you'll see one here with Mike, Andres Cooper's Legend. You'll see the heart by the European Space Agency that runs the channel on YouTube. But take a look here. Here's another heart. Love the screw drop. And you get a heart by the European Space Agency.
Yeah, they just think you're talking about the fact that it got pushed towards a surface and they thought it was funny. Conspiracy theorists have a hard time understanding context clues.
Agency. It's not an actual screw, it's the ring, but still, you see no other interaction. You get two, and one is for the screw drop or the ring drop, and the other is for calling, again, Andre Cooper's Legend. And again, all these other people saying how they love space travel, how amazing it is aboard the ISS. They're getting no response. I just find that pretty hilarious. And again, it's all about mockery. And here's just a little bit of a close-up of the heart from, again, the European Space Agency on YouTube.
Why do we
And
need a
here it is
close-up
right here
of the
again.
YouTube comment?
Unbelievable. This world we're living in. Nothing but lies. And moving on here with another astronaut, this Italian astronaut, Paolo Nespoli, as he drops a clip here. Let's take a look here. I'm going to play it in slow motion for those that might be questioning what I'm presenting.
Flurfs have no sense of humor, Hannah. I know.
It's going to be clear as day. Let's take a look.
An Italian on the ISS, but
Drops.
we also have a lot of Italy on the station.
Now he just turns around.
Oh, I missed it.
On the ISS, but
Drops.
we also have a lot of Italy.
What dropped?
That might be questioning what I'm presenting. It's going to be clear as day. Let's take a look.
An Italian on the ISS, but
Drops.
we also have a lot of.
It's floating off to the side!
It literally, it got flung.
Yeah, and then it
floated.
floats this way. Look at this thing floating in outer space. Isn't this a thing not floating in outer space, even though it's clearly floating in outer... What?
Italy on the station.
Now he just turns around. He doesn't know what to do.
How many parts?
Now let's stop here for a second and look at this slowly. I'm going to play it at two different slower speeds. Let's take a look at this one first.
Like, if I have my headphones, which is what those basically are, it doesn't do this and then float off in this direction. It just drops and stays dead. That one literally went like this because, again, if you bump something in microgravity, it's going to move in the direction because physics. So it did this, and then when it hit its, like, tension point, it took that momentum and it started moving this way because they're in microgravity, you moron.
And obviously, he drops it in supposed zero gravity aboard the ISS.
An Italian
There he goes.
on the ISS, but we also have a lot of
He
Italy
turns
on
around
the
again.
station.
Now here's super slow. And you're going to see him actually with his right hand kind of hit it.
If you are holding something, and I think this is something that he's probably not thinking about because it's something we don't typically think about. If you're holding something in microgravity and you somehow lose your grip on it, but you're still making contact with it, then you're exerting a force on that object. It might be a very small force, but you're in microgravity. So that force is going to push that thing in a direction. So generally, if you did have something in space and you were holding it like this or whatever, and you lost your grip, you're probably going to push it that way. It's also probably the opposite. If you're holding something this way and you were in space and you let go, you might push it upward. Like, this isn't hard to suss out.
And it falls. And you see that smirk on his face as he turns around. He doesn't know what to do, doesn't know how to react. So he kind of turns around for who knows whatever reason besides being completely embarrassed. Now, this, as we've seen so many times with the astronauts, they love to throw a microphone around in so-called outer space. Why not just be wireless? You know, what are we back, in the 70s or 80s still using these microphones? This is just a prop. And they're trying to show off their zero-G and so-called ISS. But again, nothing but smoke and mirrors, nonsense, garbage from these frauds, these liars. Now watch this.
Wait, you just said why wouldn't they have a wireless microphone? That is a wireless microphone.
As this one so-called astronaut is holding this inflatable globe. Let's play this clip and take a look at what happens. And he drops it.
Again, his arm pushed down. You can clearly see as he loses, like, grip on it, his arm pushes it downward. Again, downward.
And look at the expressions from all the other so-called astronauts. And look at this face here, the one in the middle, the ringleader of the circus.
You think he means lapel mic? Has he worked with lapel mics before? In this situation, it would be way easier to pass around a wireless mic to all the astronauts than to wire them all up for sound. Plus, it's also just cute, throwing the mic around.
Uh-oh, back up. Completely embarrassing. Let's take a closer look. And there he goes. And look at her face here as it drops. Oops, oops. Uh-oh. That's supposed to happen.
It looks like she was just trying to grab it because on the space station, it's not good to have any random thing flying around and bumping into the highly sensitive equipment.
Completely embarrassing. And when it comes down to liars always expose themselves. They can't keep their lies straight. And this is transparent as transparent gets. But of course the NASA fanboys, the SpaceX fanboys, they're not going to have anything to do with this. They're going to make every excuse in the book, of course, because once someone believes a lie, it's very hard to unbelieve a lie.
Oh, the irony. I don't see her.
That's all comes down to ego, and ego is the biggest enemy of truth. And let's play a little bit closer even. Clip here.
Can we start a GoFundMe to get this more on a telescope so we can see the ISS? You don't even need a telescope. I've seen it. You can go on a website and it'll tell you when it'll be overhead. I've seen it with my naked eye in the middle of the night. It's very cool. Pyromancer says, yes, emphasize.
Here, as he drops it once again in supposed zero gravity.
Yeah, he's pushing it. Like, see this? This isn't a sphere, but it is circular, and it's the same concept. So if I squeeze this, which is what he's doing with the ball, because it is circular, you can push it upward, right? I can push this upward. It's kind of hard to do. And you can see as I squeeze this, because I'm losing grip, but the force I'm putting on it in this pinch is causing it to move upward. He's doing the same thing, but because he's in zero gravity, he squeezes it into forcing it downward, and he's applying a downward force. Again, downward. Or in microgravity. So
There's absolutely no excuse. It gets back to Andre Cooper, who says things do not drop in space. And oops.
they don't without being nudged.
So, look at the
all of the
expression
things
here
that you
coming up.
showed have been moved. An object in motion stays in motion. An object at rest stays at rest unless they are acted upon by an outside force. They are being acted upon by outside forces. You can see other videos of things getting bopped around in the ISS, upward and downward the same way. But he's not showing those because it completely throws this argument into the trash bin where it belongs.
Up with these so-called astronauts, and their faces speak a million words as it drops. And look at the reaction. Look at her face specifically.
I think the reflexes are probably just really on edge. You don't want to drop shit on the... Drop shit. You don't want to let shit float around on the ISS. That's caused issues in the past. Sorry, I'll stop chewing. I know it's gross. Andrew Patella says, so if NASA, ESA, and so on were going to fake a space station, why wouldn't they make it a rotating station so they could have rotational gravity? Even having people walking on the ceiling would be easier to fake than having every astronaut in wires. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. If they were just making it all up, they could make up the rules, and why would you make a situation harder than it has to be? It doesn't make any sense. Pulp Free Fiction says, even if it's dropping, it's not accelerating. If it were gravity, it would accelerate at 1 g, and you could measure that from the video. Bold of you to assume this guy can do math.
This guy here starts smiling. They don't know what to do. And the smiles. You know, obviously, they are completely embarrassed. Obviously,
Not really. It looks like they're like, oh, whatever his name is, just dropped the globe. Whoopsie, whoopsie doopsie. That's it.
Part of the script.
How do Flurfs explain satellites? Balloons. They think they're held up with weather balloons in the atmosphere.
And of course, the foundation of the ISS, with Russia and the U.S. docking supposedly in 1998, the 2 modules, and of course, no real footage of the so-called ISS being constructed.
Our what we call our payload.
We're going to find some footage of them building the International Space Station. Just for a record. This is an animation. Oh god, fucking flat earthers. I'm so sick of them. Oh great. Someone did post videos of it, but they got removed.
The drag of it, there's a little bit of atmospheric drag even way up there, and makes it fall down more quickly into the atmosphere where it disintegrates. So that's the venting going on right there. There's our ship. There's Endeavour. Excuse me, with our what we call our payload, which is a new part for the International Space Station, the last big chunk from the U.S. side going up there, called poetically the Node 3. We did have a contest to name it. Tranquility, I think, was the name for it. And you can see it's pretty big. It's about 15 feet across.
So this is a picture of one of the modules being brought up in a shuttle?
It's got that thing sticking out the end of it, which won't stay there. But that is a...
Here's a photo of it from outer space.
The main part of it...
Because obviously it doesn't exist. It's all smoke and mirrors. Nothing but a lie. And this is, again, the foundation of the World Life System. Supposedly living on a spinning ball, zipping through outer space. And again, what all comes down to is liars, again, can't keep their lies straight. And busted once again. And for those that cannot see the obvious fakery I just showed, and again, this is official NASA footage, supposedly, of the construction. Obviously, just CGI. And obviously, they cannot show us real construction taking place because there is no ISS. There are no space travel.
I've literally seen the ISS. He just showed videos of the inside of the ISS, which you could not achieve on Earth because Earth has regular gravity and not microgravity.
Missions. Again, people need to wake up and realize this whole world system is nothing but a lie.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, what are we gonna do next? You guys want to do the next part of the Fall of the Cabal sequel? Because the ending of the last one, if I remember, was wild. I don't remember the specifics, but... Some people are saying yes, some are saying no. I say yes. Let's check it out. So if you missed last week and you missed part 1, the Fall of the Cabal is like a fundamental text in the QAnon lore. And they made a sequel. I debunked the first one a really, really long time ago when I first started streaming a year ago. They've now made a sequel. It's 17 parts. This is part 2. The first part was basically a whole intro so they can demonize Ashkenazi Jewish people. Yes, really. They pretty much just spent half the video talking about how Ashkenazi Jews are... Again, none of this is true. This is from these conspiratorial anti-Semitic pieces of shit. So according to these conspiratorial idiots, they think that Ashkenazi Jews are secretly Satanists who are hiding behind a religion that they basically co-opted. Untrue. Surprise. So the other half of the first video was them demonizing Jesuits and the Catholic Church. Two groups that they don't like. So let's see where this part goes. Oh good, they have a last time on. In the previous part, we saw the ancient origins of the Cabal. We went from Sumer to Babylonia to Canaan and Khazaria, then outward to Europe, from the Knights Templar to the Jesuit Council. In this second part, our two storylines meet at a crucial moment in history. Whereas the wrath of the Cabal has been unstructured until this moment, it was now cast in a brilliant, fully structured plan. Evil, but brilliant nonetheless. It was the plan to subjugate the world and all of humanity. I hate these people.
You might ask yourself why the orders we showed in part 1 are so important for our fall of the Cabal. Well, you know the expression, know thy enemy? In order to understand the magnificence of their elite plan and the magnitude of their evil intent, we must first identify whom we are dealing with here. There is so much misinformation going around, not only on the internet, but also in our history books.
She spelled structured right, but unstructured incorrectly. Hey, she's fighting a demonic cabal. She doesn't have time for spell check.
That, by the way, were never written by neutral observers, but always by the winners.
Welcome to history!
If you don't understand where the Cabal comes from, how far back they go in history, if you don't know how we were led to believe that all of these orders and movements were separate entities that came and went in history, independently and rather harmlessly, then you will most certainly not understand nor believe the true identity of the Cabal. You will miss the fact that we find ourselves at the final stage of their master plan. And if you don't fully comprehend in which danger we find ourselves, you will not know what to do at the moment suprême. That is why we make this documentary, so you can wake up, see through all the lies, and take action to claim your sovereignty back. That's when you'll understand what we said in the previous series. History books will have to be rewritten. Okay.
Hey, fun fact, that's typically a thing fascists do.
Let's see where and when our two storylines meet, shall we? It was in 17...
Princess Amelia says, why Brit Bonger? Why Brit Bonger? Why narrator be Brit Bonger? I don't know, because she's from the UK.
1948 in southern Germany, Bavaria, in a small town called Ingolstadt. A boy was born.
Oh no, is it gonna be Adolf Hitler? I feel like it's gonna be Hitler.
His name was Johann Adam Weishaupt.
Aww.
At the age of 5, his father died. The Jesuits took him under their wings and groomed Adam.
Oh, you're right. He was born in Austria. I also wasn't listening to the year, but it was probably way too early to be Hitler.
Turned out to be a highly intelligent and strong-minded individual to become a professor in canon law at the Jesuit University of Ingolstadt. He rewrote ancient historical documents in which the ideology of Lucifer would eventually lead to the complete control of the world.
They said
In
1748. Yeah.
1773,
I
a
missed
secret
that.
meeting took place between Meyer Amschel
Yeah, this is a Q thing.
Rothschild and a select group of 12 elite Khazarian bankers and businessmen. Remember Rothschild, key player in our first storyline? The excessively wealthy and powerful Ashkenazi Khazarian banker from Frankfurt? Well, Rothschild proposed to join forces and riches with the purpose of world dominance. He had set his eye on Adam Weishaupt, who would be perfect to implement their plans in practice and run their organization. And so, on May the 1st, 1776, Adam Weishaupt founded the Bund der Perfektibilisten, the Order of the Perfectionists, later to be called the Order of the Illuminati. It was the fusion of the financial empire of the Rothschilds and the wealth and power of the military order of the Jesuits. Their goal? The creation of a world government and world dominance. Although Weishaupt's name is commonly known among those who study this material, not many people are aware of the fact that he based his Order of the Illuminati on ancient documents, one of which was a letter that was given to him by Rothschild. This letter, referred to as the Constantinople letter, was old and of extreme value to the Ashkenazim. It was 287
Janet Ossebart
years
is
old,
Dutch?
written in
Oh, she has a very
1489
UK sounding
by the
accent.
Nazi, the chairman of the Jewish High Council.
Pyromancer
in
says
Constantinople.
Jesuits. Is she going to start talking about the new cocky? That's deep. That's deep lore. That's an episode like 12.
As a response to an outcry for help by the head of the Ashkenazi Jews in France. Remember the Khazarians who had fled Russia and who had changed their name to Ashkenazi Jews? They now felt threatened by the other ethnic groups in France. The king had even told them they had to convert to Christianity. The reply of the Nazi in the Constantinople letter was as follows. As for what you say that the King of France obliges you to become Christians, do it, since you cannot do otherwise, but let the law of Moses be kept in your hearts. As for what you say about the demand to despoil you of your goods, make your sons merchants, that little by little they may despoil the Christians of theirs. As for what you say about their making attempts on your lives, make your sons doctors and apothecaries, that they may take away Christian life.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
As for what you say about their destroying your synagogues, make your sons canons and clerics, in order that they may destroy their churches. As for the many other vexations you complain of, arrange that your sons become advocates and lawyers, and see that they always mix themselves up with the affairs of state, in order that by putting Christians under your yoke, you may dominate the world and be avenged on them. Do not swerve from this order we give you, for you will find by experience that, humiliated as you are now, you will reach the actuality of power.
These people are so fucking sick in the head that
In
they
other
think
words,
this shit is
they were told to-
true and applies to entire groups of people. I hate this lady. I fucking hate these QAnon people.
Fake and make
Yeah, it's rehashed Protocols of Zion bullshit. It's fucking nonsense.
believe conversion, and to infiltrate every aspect of society. Commerce, medicine,
This is literally like the rhetoric that the Nazis used in order to justify the Holocaust. I'm not making that up. I am not making that up.
religion, and legislation, with the sole purpose of revenge and destruction. How Khazarian. Adam Weishaupt founded the Order of the Illuminati in 1776, financed by the Rothschilds, based on this letter, that, by the way, was based on an even older document, more about which in part 4. 1 year later, in 1777, Weishaupt joined the Grand Orient Masonic Lodge. He made over 2,000 Jesuits head of the many lodges across the world, thus establishing a massive empire of power in which the Jesuit order was the spider in the web. Weishaupt then officially left the Jesuit order so that no suspicion would ever be drawn to the involvement of the Roman Catholic Church and the Jesuit Council in the illustrious plans of the Illuminati.
The all-seeing eye is the eye of God. It's not satanic.
The Rothschilds used their riches to finance wars, as they had found out that by financing both sides of each and every war, they would always win financially. They knew no scruples, no mercy. The alliance of the Luciferian Khazars and the Jesuit order had only just begun. Their goals? Personal gain, wealth, and power.
So capitalism. You're describing capitalism.
Submission of the royal families. The annihilation of the infidels. Protestants, Calvinists, atheists, Muslims.
Pretty sure Jewish people don't use the word infidels. I feel like she used that nomenclature specifically to scare Islamophobic people. Pyromancer says, if I bet $50 on both sides, then I'll always make money.
Jews, in other words, the destruction of all religions except the Roman Catholic faith.
I like that in her fantasy, the Catholic Church and Jewish people are working together on this for some reason. Why? I don't know. Because she doesn't like either of those groups.
The destruction of all governments, world dominance of the Pope, and revenge. Revenge on each and every one who had ever betrayed them. Revenge on Russia, first and foremost, the country that had expelled the Khazars. But not only that. Remember the vengeance of the Jesuits on the Pope, who had betrayed them? Well, they weren't done just yet. For the European kings of France, Spain, England, Austria, and so on, who had banned the Jesuit order, were about to have a taste of their wrath. The first pawn the Illuminati alliance put forward was Napoleon Bonaparte. The fact that the French Revolution was indeed orchestrated by elite secret societies was documented and proven by the French Jesuit Augustin Baruel. He wrote an influential account in which he focused in particular on Adam Weishaupt, founder of the Order of the Illuminati.
Princess Amelia says, well, at least this woman doesn't do the whole globalist thing. She's just like, it's the Jews. It's just outright anti-Semitism. She's not even trying to hide it. Profane Priestess says the actual Illuminati was a Bavarian secret society of scientific skeptics, secularists, and pro-limited government philosophers. They were actually POG.
According to Baruel, the French Revolution was orchestrated by Freemasons and...
Okay, and why the fuck would I believe him? Because literally every other source that's historical says that's wrong? You can't just go back in history and try and find the one guy that said the thing you like, and then like, yeah, that guy said it, so... No, that's not how history works.
Philosophers like Voltaire and Montesquieu. We'll get back to Baruel in a later stage, so remember his name. Napoleon's advisor was a Jesuit, Emmanuel Sillet. He advised Napoleon on where to go and what to do. In today's language, we would call Sillet his handler.
Having an advisor from the church back in the day would be very normal That doesn't make him a handler, you dummy. I shouldn't even say dummy. She knows what she's doing. The 300,000 people that watched this video and took it seriously are the dummies. And he had a political advisor from the church. That means that it was a handler because it works in our narrative and for literally no other reason.
According to many historians and researchers, the Jesuits were the ones who orchestrated and directed the French Revolution and the
Did she just literally say, according to many?
outcome.
Who? What are your sources? How are those sources looked upon academically? Please, let me know.
Napoleon was a Masonic Grand Master. He was chosen and initiated by the order to play a key role in their planned revolution. Napoleon's brother, Louis Bonaparte, was made Grand Master of the Grand Orient of France. His wife Josephine was a member of the Mason Rite of Adoption. Under Napoleon's rule, the number of lodges in France grew from 300 to 1,220. Napoleon was a puppet of the cabal. We were led to believe he was the front man.
Pyromancer says, I've heard many people say it happened. The best people.
Some historians believe was to cover an ulcer, seriously, was actually a common Masonic gesture called the sign of the Master of the Second Veil. Many world leaders have shown this sign throughout the ages. The French Revolution started in 1789 and lasted for 10 long and bloody years of absolute terror. It was the master plan of the Jesuit Council to take revenge on France, to destabilize the country through war, and to destroy the French crown. Their tool? The Jacobins, an extremist political movement founded by none other than Napoleon's advisor, the Jesuit Sieyes. The Jacobins caused mayhem across France, rioting, plundering, murdering everyone who stood in their way. They left behind a trail of death and destruction wherever they went. The Jesuit plan worked. The guillotines worked overtime. The Jesuit order is the most dangerous of all orders. It has caused more harm than all other orders. The doctrine of the Jesuits entails that their supreme general is the sovereign of sovereigns and master of the world.
I guess that's a quote from Napoleon, who you're saying is working with the Jesuits, but he's openly admonishing them. Do you see the issue?
After the French Revolution had ended, the Napoleonic Wars started. They caused even more instability and destruction, not only to France, but to the many countries Napoleon invaded. Austria, Russia, England, Prussia, Portugal, and Spain, where the royal family was kicked out and Napoleon's older brother was put on the throne. Each and every country that had once banned the Jesuit order and the Khazarian Ashkenazi Jews was now in ruins. This was one of the order's most dominant passions: revenge. During the Napoleonic Wars, the Illuminati Alliance deployed their most successful strategy. They financed both the French and the English army. It simply
I'm honestly bored by this one at this point. It's just like anti-Semitism and anti-Catholic sentiment. This isn't even fun.
Not only had the king to pay back, Franz Freiherr came to...
So World War II, or no, rather World War I. Okay, I'm done with this shit. I'm sorry, everyone. It's not even a fun conspiracy. It's just boring and anti-Semitic, and I don't like it. So we're gonna move on. I'm sorry. How about Nathan Thompson, or maybe his friend, I'm not sure, trying to flat smack people? It's his friend. Oh god, is he carrying a gun? Nathan Thompson has friends. This guy's his friend.
I was told nothing exploded so long ago, and it's noted that as a child
What is he doing? Just go and tell people about Flat Earth, you weirdo.
I ain't eating no chickens.
It's a camera. It's a hidden camera for his Flat Earth thing.
What's going on, fellas? Oh, they are? Damn. Here, let me give y'all some free reading information. Space is fake. Second law of thermodynamics proves that space is fake because for a low pressure system, a high pressure system like a soda can, has to have a container. Air around a rim has to have a tire. Propane tank has to have a tank. If not, gases go up. So right here on the closest where gravity's the strongest and the gases go up, even when you boil water. So what stops all the carbon, oxygen, everything else floating up? What stops it from going into this 17 tour of space?
Gravity.
There has to be a container.
Gravity keeps it from going all the way into space, which is why you have a gradient, because the gravity is the strongest, closest to the surface of the Earth, which is where you have the densest parts of the atmosphere, and then as you go up, the atmosphere gets less dense because more of it's able to escape, because the gravity is relatively less strong.
So, partner, yo, let me give you some free reading information. You know, 90% of communication is done by sea cables. You should check it out. It's valuable access. All you gotta do is look up sea cables. That's how most of the continents are connected. It's about the size of a soda can. Dude, it will blow your mind if you...
Andrew Patella says, also, we do lose gas to space all the time. It's just incredibly slow. Yeah. And no, I've seen the pictures of the undersea cables. They're like this big, and they have many different cables within them. They are not the size of a soda can. There might be individual ones in there that are the size of a soda can, but the wires themselves are much bigger, and they have many wires within them.
Really look into it.
Beer keg would be a good way to put it. Undersea cables. I know there's a cross section of one that I've seen that has multiple ones. I'm sure I can find the cross section thing. Yeah, see, here's one. Can you guys see that? Is that off camera? No, you can see it. Okay. See, there's like big, thick things, and there's multiple wires within them. Here's one with even more. They're quite large.
About information, brother.
What?
I'm about information, brother.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were a Mason. Oh, shit. Hey, that's good, dude. I'm telling you, NASA's right down the street, but when you look at all their bloopers, they get caught with wires. Yeah. I mean, the second law of thermodynamics is a low pressure system, a high pressure system, like a soda can. When you pop it, it equalizes. It has to have a container, like the air around your rim. It has to have that tire. So what's stopping all the gases from floating up? When you know, gases go up. Right here on the surface where supposedly gravity is the strongest, it does not hold the gases from going up. So what's stopping it when it gets to the 17 torr vacuum of space? What stops it? There has to be a container. It's called a firmament. I'm telling you, dude, it's freaking awesome. Yeah. All right, brother. Hey, Donald, I got some free reading information to check out sometime when you're bored. 10 biblical ones and 10 scientific proofs that you can do yourself. It'll blow your mind, girl.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Let me get that, and then I'm done. There you go. I'm sharing to everybody. Sharing's caring. That's what I do. So I got 2 for you. Check it out when you're bored. You gotta have an open mind, though. First, you're gonna think, "What? You're crazy." But the more and more you look into it, the deeper you get. There's an answer for it.
This is Nathan's friend, and Nathan's friend is even worse at this than Nathan. How about a message from the Galactic Federation?
So I wanted to hop on and relay a couple of the messages that came through from the Galactic Federation just yesterday, June 11th. It was probably one of the, I don't know, I guess all of the meetings are...
Sky Comet Fallen says, so apparently all you have to do to get him to go away is, I'm a Mason, and everyone take notes. Yeah, I guess so. Colston says, how can a flat earther not believe in gravity? It's obviously self-evident by dropping a pencil. What do they think the force that brings things down is? Density. Buoyancy and density is what they think. Chrysia says, do they not realize that air is a gas? I guess not. No, they do, but that's their point, is that they're saying, why doesn't the atmosphere escape?
Really, really...
And they don't take gravity as an answer because they don't believe gravity exists.
Fun and incredible, but yesterday was definitely one of the
Blackwing
most exciting
says,
Galactic Federation
I feel sad.
meetings I think there has been. We talked about a lot of things. The theme for that meeting was new beginnings. And that's really the theme for June. It's new beginnings. You know, what's going on the planet right now is that we are in the middle of a shift. We are in the middle of a death and a rebirth. And this is the theme that came up over and over again with the Galactic Federation, this death and rebirth, which also means cycles. We are ending a huge cycle on the planet at this time, both at a collective and systemic level and at an individual level. I just want to mention, just a side note, that everything that's going on with, you know, residential schools and finding children's bodies, I think is obviously extremely sad. I think it might be a bit shocking to anyone who didn't know that there was residential schools in Canada, and basically the biggest genocide known to human history was the Indigenous genocide. They were trying to suppress the knowledge. I just want to say that, you know, it wasn't a part of the meeting, but there's a huge cycle happening even here in Canada of corruption getting exposed, of the torture, the torment, the absolute destruction of an entire culture and nation is all coming to light. So I think that that's really profound. So something else that the Galactic Federation brought up, and I believe this was...
Hannah, can you talk about the vaccine and the magnets? I put a magnet in my mom's arm. She is vaccinated. And the magnets and even the coins stick to her arm. Well, first of all, coins aren't magnetic. So it's not a magnet. What's happening? It's actually a pretty easy trick. People have been doing this trick for a long time. And claiming, I'm magnetic or whatever. This predates the whole vaccine hysteria shit. So, what's going on? Hold on, let me get something flat, like a coin or something. I'm gonna go get a fridge magnet. I'll show you, hold on. Okay, so we have a fridge magnet. It's a, let me see if I can show you to prove it's a magnet. This is slightly magnetic, but you see, it's on the kazoo. It's a magnet.
Did someone say magnetic? Right where I was vaccinated. Sorry, the hiccups.
Okay, so this is a trick that you can do. Anyone can do this, a vaccinated person, an unvaccinated person. I didn't get vaccinated in the forehead, obviously. But look at that, oh my god, it's magnetic, ooh! No, what's happening...
Look at the magnet.
Yeah.
This means I'm magnetic.
What's happening is,
well, that magnet's lost.
People, even if you don't feel like you have stuff on your skin, humans have stuff on their skin all the time. We have oils and stuff on our skin. So, if you take something flat, like a magnet or some other flat thing like a coin, and you place it there for a second, it's not going to work very well on my arm because I have bumpy arms because of a skin condition I have. Maybe on this part. Helps if you're sweaty, too. Yeah, that works a little bit. Okay. So, Anyway, yeah, James Randi disproved this like decades ago. So this is not magnetism. This is adhesion to your skin because you have oils and stuff on your skin. So what you do to prove that it's not magnetic, if you are so inclined, is you take baby powder or something and you put it all over the area, rub it on there nice and good, and then you do the same thing, and it'll slide right off because the powder has negated the stickiness of your arm. There you go. So if you need to do that to your mom, do that. But yeah, it's like a known phenomena and different grifters. Flour? Are we gonna use flour?
All-purpose flour.
Sure, we can do this.
I'll do
I'm gonna end the stream soon anyway, so.
Okay. I am floured up.
I don't know. It no longer has the adhesion from the skin oils.
This is where I got my vaccine. Oh!
You didn't put enough flour on it.
I know. I didn't put any flour at that point. Okay.
There you go. There you go. Not magnetism. Human beings are just gross and we're slightly oily all the time.
Ay, oily. That protects our skin.
Yeah.
Gotta go put this back in the kitchen.
That's true. It is Illuminati flour that negates magnetism.
Totally.
Alright, I think we've been going for 3 hours. I know I didn't get through a ton of content today, and I apologize for that, chat. But I gotta get going. We'll be back for some sort of stream tomorrow. It'll probably be a bit shorter. I'll save these other videos for the next Tinfoil Tuesday, or we might do another conspiracy stream later in the week. Just because there's some of the stuff I want to go through, but I gotta go. So, yeah. Have a good evening, everyone. Let me see who we can raid. God, I wish almost no one's on. I wish this Hal Sparks guy would let me fucking raid him, but he won't. He has raids turned off for some reason. Don't know why. Who does that? Can you make a raid suggestion? Go for it. Almost no one else is on anyway. Maybe he got bad raiders. It's possible, but... Pirate Princess Jess. Let's check them out.
Be awesome food. Oh, look at that. He's eating. That's cute. And this is why calendars are important. Yeah, it really is. No problem. Wednesdays are kind of boring.
Let's
day.
do the
That's
raid.
good. Let's make it a more fun day then. I should fuse tabbies with pink so they eat anything. That's a good idea.
All right, have a good night, everyone. Again, I'll be back tomorrow for some kind of stream. Sorry, I'm leaving so abruptly.
I shoot it in here to the tabby.
Have a good night, everyone. Be back soon.
Like that. In the meantime, I'm gonna go sell my tabby plort. Because that is probably worth money. Hey, 28. Nice. They play with food anyway. That's good to know, actually.